sides, all in one place. Only with Xfinity X1.
There's a new radio station in the Bay Area. The new 105.3 Dave FM. Totally random radio. Huey Lewis hangs out with Duran Duran. Green Day plays right next to Fleetwood Mac. Right around the corner from Journey and then maybe Depeche Mode. 105.3 Dave FM. Totally random radio.
Tonight, a CNN exclusive. At a critical moment in his presidency, Joe Biden takes questions from the American people. Anderson Cooper moderates a CNN presidential town hall. Tonight at 8 Eastern on CNN.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
I need a laptop that helps me work remote from Charleston or Charlotte or wherever I am this week.
It's possible.
How about a PC that can manage my workload at a price I can manage?
Also possible, because Staples Connect has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work. And now get up to $200 off select laptops, like the HP Pavilion with Intel i7 processor. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/23, limit 2, in-store only.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and rugs specials. Kick back on the Lily fabric sofa for $579. Sit down to the new Aberdeen 5-piece dining set, now $1,049. And stretch out on the Canyon Queen bed, just $339. Plus, get 50 to 60% off select Simmons and Sealy mattresses. Going on now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries starting at just $79.99. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. Presented by Timeless Coffee. This is the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
In the air, right field, hit well, and this one is up and out! A home run for Rosario! A 3-run blast! It's not going to be a cycle, but he'll take that every day.
What a night down at Dodger Stadium. Brian Anderson on the call for TBS, and he had a line late in the game. After that home run, this stadium was completely empty as Dodger fans run for the exits. They're down 3-1 in the NLCS against the Atlanta Braves. Rosario was special. 2 home runs, a triple, a single. He was a double shy of the second postseason cycle ever in the Braves. They do the damn thing last night. They need to win one more. They were in a spot last season against the Dodgers up 3-1. But this time they'll have at least 2 home games if they do lose Game 5 today at Dodger Stadium. And with that said, good morning to everybody out there on the roadways. YouTube, I see ya. Good morning to the Roasters on YouTube and Twitch. No doubt about that. Good morning to Curly and Langford. And good morning to you, Joe Shasky. We got a lot to talk about today. You know, obviously we have the Warriors home opener, which is going to be huge. We're going to be jacked up about that. Warriors Clippers down at Chase Center. Cannot wait. Tip off at 7 p.m. Don't forget Warriors Live right here at 5:30 with Damon Bruce and Ray Ratto. But we got a lot to get to with the 49ers. DeForest Buckner's coming back to town, and there's been a lot of chatter about him. Lately, the internet's going wild over DeForest Buckner. More fighting with 49ers Twitter, which is just ridiculous. But Buckner's back in town, and he's basically admitted that, look, I wanted to be in the middle. I wanted to be a 49er. And with that said, you look at Javon Kinlaw, you look at Brandon Ayuk, and you're like, I could have Buckner. Maybe you paid the wrong guy, but we'll get there. Just your quick thoughts, though, on what we've seen in the game of baseball since the Giants have been eliminated. Astros on the brink of going to the World Series, and the Braves on the brink of going to the World Series.
Well, it makes me sad for the San Francisco Giants. That's number one. Let me switch my headphones here. It's just... I'm at the point now watching these playoffs, and I'm just saying the Giants are so close, But yet, in many ways, they are still really, really far away because it's so hard year after year after year after year to field a competitive team. I look at what the Tampa Bay Rays have done the last couple of years, and I'm like, wow, I should be encouraged. Look at how they build their team. And look at how they put this emphasis on finding value, finding young, controllable players financially. But all that could go away with this new CBA. I don't know what the CBA is going to entail because they've really taken advantage of the 3- and 6-year contracts. And then on the other side of that coin, I look at what the Astros did, failing for so long, bringing all of these players up, and then spending like crazy and making shrewd trades to build their organization the way they are. But you have that cheating scandal. So it's hard for me to embrace them like it really is. And then I look at the Dodgers. To me, the Dodgers are the template for what the Giants need to be doing. As much as I hate the Dodgers, they have done a great job mixing and matching, meaning bringing all these young players up, but also using some of that draft capital to trade and go get people. The Braves are very much in that same boat. They had one player that they built around, Freddie Freeman, and then the rest are guys that they kind of brought up through their system. Now this year, because of the
wasn't Freddie Freeman up in their system?
He was, but I'm saying he was the holdover.
He was a holdover from the previous regime.
That's kind of what I meant, you know. And I look at like what they did when Acuna went down. Look at their outfield. I mean, Jock Peterson. A lot of us laughed at that deal. Cubs fans were like, "See ya." Jock Peterson's been fantastic for them.
Fantastic.
I think that their outfield production is at like 333 batting average since Acuna went down.
Well, did you see Adam Duvall?
I mean, come on.
Since 2016, he's 8th in the majors in home runs. Adam Duvall, the former Giant, who was traded for who? Mike Leake. Yeah. Remember that trade? And look, I get why the Giants did it. I would have done that trade. They were in a race, and they needed another pitcher. It just didn't work out after he blew his hamstring down in Texas. Mike Leake, that is. But Adam Duvall has been baller for him. And the Braves, for the most part in the National League, have been number one in offense since Acuna Jr. has gone down.
Yes. So I guess where I'm going at with this, and then I look at the Red Sox. The Red Sox are a weird kind of a construct. Yeah. They've got some guys, young guys like Devers. Like that guy came through their system. He's an excellent player. He's an excellent player. But then they got like Schwarber, and they got Arroyo. They got these like cast-offs from other organizations.
But they traded for Schwarber this year after he was lighting it up with the Nationals. I get it. They needed a pop in the bat. He's a DH. Yeah. You're in the American League. It made sense.
AL.
Yeah, it made sense
and
for
I
them.
think he fits their ballpark very perfectly. But what I'm going as is there's many ways to build a contender. But I look at where the Giants are at, and the one thing that I think is really holding them back, they need that second ace.
Right.
You know, you got to have that second ace, and you got to have a guy in the outfield who can bop consistently. And that's where I'm looking at this Chris Bryant situation, and I'm saying to myself, I don't even know where his position is, but boy, if you lose him, right? Because that's the thing I keep thinking about. You lose him, where are you going to get that production from?
And that's why you can't lose him, Shasky. You got to pay the man. You have to pay the man, and it may cost you $200 million. Are you got to say no? Is it worth losing him? Because if you bring him back, you're going to attract other free agents. And if you attract other free agents, that means the ballpark's going to be sold out. That means more jerseys get sold. That means more garlic fries and crab sandwiches get sold. That means more gear gets sold. More people in the seats. You get box office players, well, guess what? Your yard's going to be box office. I think Chris Bryant, you know, we were discussing this earlier. Would you give him more than 150? Would you give him more than 130? Would you give him more than 140? Well, if you let him walk, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, Bonte, let's just look at the numbers on the payroll. You got Longoria. You got a club option with Posey. You got Crawford. Those are your over $10 million deals. That's not a lot of money. This is a team that's used to having 150, 180, almost $200 million payroll.
They had the highest payroll at the time. They were competing with the Boston Red Sox 2015, 2016, 2017.
So what I'm going at is this: is like, look, I know you want to be frugal and you want to be fiscally responsible when it comes to these contracts. You don't want to dole out a contract that's going to leave you completely hampered. And I know we've been waiting for 4 years, Bonte, for a lot of these contracts to come off the books. But if you're not going to sign Chris Bryant right now, you still have to spend money. I'm not fielding a $55 million payroll team. Like, we're not the Marlins here. Like, you got to spend a little money. So maybe you will have to overspend. The more and more I'm thinking about it. And again, if it's 5 years, let's say $35, $40 million a year, newsflash, Giants fans, That's the going rate for good outfielders.
Right.
You have to kind of overpay in free agency once they hit that spot. The other way of doing this is, hey, our Helio Ramos guy comes up and we buy out his years of arbitration and we give him a 7 or 8 year deal at 22 years old, like what you've seen with Ronald Acuna.
Yep, and Albies as well.
Exactly.
They got him for the cheap too.
Oh, when you break the money down, hell yeah, it's a great
and
deal.
And Albies is a baller. Oh my gosh,
Did you see his glove drills before the game?
Yes, with Ron Washington.
It's so good.
I love Ron Washington.
Ron's
by the way,
standing about as far away as I am to you, like 4 feet,
Boom,
and he's
boom.
peppering balls
Boom.
at him.
Boom.
It was really cool to watch.
They had a video of Ron Washington, like a 2-minute video of just him waving in his guys.
So good.
Him and Albies have a great relationship.
Yeah.
They hug, they play with each other, and he's grabbing his face, and they're having fun in Atlanta. But I'm looking at the Giants outfield, for example.
Yeah.
They've got $7.8 million committed to the outfield
for
next season.
year, yeah.
Dickerson, Yaz, and Slater. Now, obviously, Jalen Davis is going to be arbitration. Jalen Davis, I don't know.
You know what? I'm not mad at. They made a trade. They got Jalen Davis. It was a flyer. It didn't work out.
It hasn't worked out, but you still got control for him. He's 28 years old.
I would still do that deal over and over again.
Lamont Wade's probably going to get broke off in arbitration. Steven Duggar, he doesn't have money yet because of arbitration. So we'll see what happens. Mauricio Dubon. You look at the infield, $41 million committed to the infield.
Longo, LaStella, Crawford, and then what do you do with
get
Belt?
3.5, but Belt, it almost feels like, do you bring him back? We discussed this. We discussed it. I don't know. Belt's a tricky one for me because when his grandmother passed away, he got red hot. We felt sorry for him. We're like, you know what? This guy's balling right now. He's balling. But I don't know because the one constant is he does get hurt. And when he gets cold, he gets cold. When he gets hot, he gets hot. It's not about giving loyalty contracts or scholarship contracts and giving out money just because, hey, you know what? He's a lifelong Giant and we want to keep him as a lifelong player. That's what gets you buried, all right? That's what gets you buried. When you look at the free agents at first base, Freddie Freeman's a free agent. You know what I'm saying? Gurriel's a free agent. Anthony Rizzo's a free agent. I mean, what's the market for Brendan Belt? What is he asking for? Is it $12 million a year? Is it $15 million a year? What's the price tag on him, on Brendan Belt? But you look at the free agency list, and there's not a lot out there outside of Freddie Freeman.
And Freddie Freeman, I believe, has a club option. I could be wrong, but I thought he had a club option, which I'm assuming he's going to be a Brave for life.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of Chipper Jones vibes to me.
Actually, he's unrestricted.
Is he an unrestricted? I thought he had a... Wow. Well, I mean, that'd be a player that I'd be very intrigued to bring in. No, there's no doubt about it. I'd be very... Here's the question that I don't have the answer to. What is going to happen with the CBA, and how does that affect people who are, let's say you're Freddie Freeman, all right? The season ends, let's just roughly, November 1st. You have until about the 10th. There's a clock here. There's a calendar. You have until about November 10th until your team can give you a qualifying offer, you can work an extension, or you become a straight-up free agent.
Right.
Do these guys that are like Freddie Freeman, do they say to themselves, why do I want to wait till the CBA expires and then maybe the whole financial landscape changes?
You got to get paid now. You got to get your money now. And that's the biggest thing.
I don't know.
That's the biggest
Does
thing.
that mean that more teams are going to be apt to trading? Like, I kept thinking about minor league systems right now. You didn't play in 2020. There's no minor league system.
Yeah.
So a lot of teams didn't get a good look at a lot of their prospects. Everybody stood pat. You didn't see a lot of prospect trades in 2020, 2021. Will teams now, after getting a long look at some of their guys, just case in point, Joey Bart, right? Now that the Giants have really had a long look at Joey Bart day in, day out, and I'm using him as an example, are they more apt to trade him? Are they more apt to keep him? Like, does the CBA affect how they view their prospects in trying to acquire someone who's already under a deal because they're afraid this will turn into NBA free agency where we're throwing random money at random players? I don't know.
I don't know about that, but the Giants got some things to figure out here on their payroll. 2023, they only have $45 million committed on a payroll, so they're going to have money to spend on how to build this baseball team. We'll see what they do in the offseason. Dusty's boys, their Astros, on the brink of going to the World Series. What a game from Valdez pitching that gem. Yordan Alvarez going opposite field. He's got power. I'm pulling for Dusty Baker. That's the only guy I'm pulling for. I can't root for the Braves. I can't root for the Dodgers. I can't root for the Red Sox. I'm rooting for Dusty. But we got a football game on Sunday, and it's been a bye week.
Who plays tonight?
Browns and Broncos.
Who's their starting quarterback tonight?
Case Keenum.
They named Case Keenum yesterday. That's right.
No Nick Chubb. There's no Kareem Hunt.
I know. I've got the 2 running backs, Felton and Johnson, and they did nothing.
No.
Combined 4 points last week. Missing Chubb is a big loss for me.
Big loss for me, too. Big loss for me. I got Hunt and Chubb on one team, so there goes that one. The Niners, they've had a week off. We heard from Jimmy Garoppolo yesterday. Sounds like he's raring to go to start. Trey Lance is a little behind. Trey Lance may not even suit up this Sunday on Sunday Night Football against the Colts. But the talking point yesterday down in Santa Clara revolved around the former 49er and DeForest Buckner. And he's making his return. And DeForest Buckner has made it been known. I wanted to be a 49er for my entire career. On and off the field, I thought I did enough to get a contract. I was willing to meet them in the middle. It didn't happen. He gets traded. Then he wondered, damn, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, the Rams, those teams figure out how to keep their premium players. The Niners let a premium player walk out the door, and I get it. You re-sign George Kittle, you give Armstead the money, you re-sign Fred Warner Jr., you give him a contract extension, that's all good. But Jimmy Ward said it, man. He was the heart and soul of our defense. So as the Niners come back into our lives Sunday at Levi Stadium against the Colts and Carson Wentz and T.Y. Hilton and Michael Pittman Jr., how you feeling about the 49ers?
Well, the Niners, that's how I feel about the Niners right now. They're kind of an afterthought in my head these days. I mean, I'm so excited with the Warriors season starting up. I feel like I've been very fatigued by the Niners.
Wow, and it's only been, they're 2-3. They played 5 games.
I know, but Bonte, they're on a 3-game losing streak. I mean, they lose this weekend, it feels like the season is a wrap.
But it's
in
not,
many senses.
though.
No, I know it isn't. I know it isn't, but it feels that way. There's just a bad vibes going on. DeForest Buckner, this is the part I struggle with. The data dorks, as I like to call them, right? The data dorks will tell you, Eric Armstead has been better in 2021 than what DeForest Buckner is.
Did you see PFF?
What'd they say?
Oh, the metrics of PFF shows you that Armstead's been a better all-around player than DeForest Buckner. Well, I remember the Colts last year. Didn't they go from one of the worst defenses in the league to one of the top 5 units in all of football?
Forget the data for a second. Let's just forget the data. Bonte, you and I watched one of the worst football teams of our lifetime. I say the 04 Niners, the 05 Niners, 2015, and then 2016, which was his rookie year, DeForest Buckner's rookie year. Now, I didn't love the pick. 6th overall pick, 7th overall pick, D tackle from Oregon. After you already took an Oregon D lineman the year prior, So here's the thing with DeForest that I think the data dorks don't understand. They had nobody on that defense in 2016. Nobody. He had no one around him. This guy gave his heart and soul to the organization. Now, when you're in a locker room, there is a pecking order. B, you've been on many teams. When you're a part of a team and somebody balls out, there is something to be said about being in that locker room and them rewarding and compensating one of the people who was here from the beginning, who is a leader on and off the field, who gives 100% effort. I don't care about the data for a second. I'm talking about
player.
Yeah, and the vibe in the locker room when you break off someone who's
captain.
Exactly.
Captain.
Exactly.
Len Eschman Award winner, the Niners MVP the year they went to the Super Bowl in 2019.
All these data dorks that I hear from all over the internet, you know what they would tell you about someone by the name of Bryant Young? You know what they would say? He was all right. He's all right. I mean, look at the Ross. Look at the tackle for losses. Look at the sacks. He was all right. Look at the pressure rate.
How sickening is that?
It's disgusting because you know what the thing is? How can I quantify what Brian, I'm using Bryant Young as an example, what he brought to the table in a box score? Bonte's one of my favorite players of all time. Played on some horrific teams with no one around him. Now, I'm not saying DeForest Buckner equals Bryant Young. There's a little bit of a drop off there. Bryant Young, I believe, is one of the great 49ers of all time that we've underappreciated. But DeForest Buckner needed to be kept. And here's the part that drives me nuts. It wasn't, they kept Armstead and Jimmy Ward over DeForest Buckner. No. Let's go back to 2 and 3 years prior. They spent like drunken sailors in free agency on bad players, and the sins of free agency years past were the reasons they couldn't afford DeForest Buckner moving forward. Now, I understand there are difficult decisions. You need to get over it. No, I'm not going to get over it. DeForest was one of my favorite players, and I went to that stadium in 2017.
Right.
I went to that stadium in 2018. I went to that stadium in 2019. You know one of the most popular players from the stands was? Do you know
Number
who it was?
99, DeForest Buckner.
It was the only jersey anybody bought outside of Jimmy Garoppolo. So we could sit here and go, the data. What about the player and the fit inside that locker room? What about rewarding one of your own? Stop it with the stats. It drives me nuts that DeForest Buckner is not a 49er, and it's not an Armstead Buckner thing.
Right.
It's a cultural, organizational frustration that I have where we paid Malcolm Smith, where we paid Pierre Garçon, and Jerick McKinnon, and D. Ford, and all these other people,
Alexander.
And it cost you DeForest Buckner. Yeah. That's bad business.
You know, the Colts were second in the league last season against the run. They get Buckner, and all of a sudden they kind of pulled up to the top of the charts against the run. His first season with the Colts, you see him wearing a C on his jersey. Mm-hmm. He's already a captain. Remember that Thursday night game, I think it was Colts-Titans last season, where they highlighted DeForest Buckner and how impactful he was on that Colts defense and how that defense gravitated around DeForest Buckner. Then you got Darius Leonard, who is a prototype of Fred Warner Jr. They're the same player, basically. And the Colts are cooking. Now, I get it. They're 2-4. They should have beat the Ravens. They blew that game. No doubt Lamar went crazy, and Lamar Jackson is one of the best players in all of football. But when you talk about the locker room impact, and you say, well, George Kittle, availability always matters to me. And DeForest Buckner was always available on Sundays.
He played every defensive snap in 2016.
He's
the
always
only Niners player to ever do that.
He was always available. And where I was getting at was the guy you paid, who's great off the field, Eric Armstead.
Yeah, he is.
But he was banged up until that 2019 season. Banged up. And you look at Buckner, who's always on the football field. The captain. Community work. You know, when he got traded, I heard from somebody with the 49ers right away. Mm-hmm. This one hurts. This one hurts because of what he meant in that locker room and off the football field. Then you think about all the sacks Armstead got. Well, maybe that was a byproduct of DeForest Buckner taking on double teams. You started to hear, well, maybe the wide nine's not a great fit for Buckner. Well, it sounds like the Niners were set on a number. Mm-hmm. Buckner said, look, I'm willing to take a discount. I'm willing to take a discount. But meet me somewhere in the middle. Meet me somewhere in the middle, and boom, he's gone. And now the contract, and now we're in this situation where Kinlaw is wearing number 99, and it's unfair to Javon Kinlaw to compare him to DeForest Buckner. You can't expect him to beat DeForest Buckner. But when you spend the number 14 pick on Javon Kinlaw, I'm expecting him to be more than a two-down defensive lineman. I'm expecting him to be healthy. You took a chance on a guy who's been banged up since he was at South Carolina, and then on the flip side, you move up and take a receiver in the same draft, and it's not working out. So now it looks bad. And now you're in a bad situation. And you got guys like Jimmy Ward saying, this guy was the heart and soul of defense. We see the Rams manipulate the salary cap. We see the Chiefs manipulate the salary cap. We see the Saints do the same thing. We see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bring back every single starter from a Super Bowl team. The Buckner situation hurts. And we're going to get into that because that's going to be a dominating headline outside of Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, making his return for the 49ers.
You know, Bonte, I want to get into a word I never hear in this market. It's a double word, actually. Franchise tag. Why the hell haven't the Niners used it over the years?
Don't know.
We're going to get into that.
All right, don't forget, tip-off at 7 p.m. Warriors Live starts at 5:30, presented by Xfinity Sports Zone, the ultimate sports hub experience. And what's coming up on the game, brought to you by California Department of Housing and Community Development. We got Bob Myers coming up at 8:40, nice. President of Basketball Operations of the Golden State Warriors. Also, Brian Baldinger is going to join us in an hour to talk some football and what the Colts present as they travel out west to take on the Niners at Levi Stadium. We'll dive right into that right here on the Morning Russell, Joe Shatsky, Butcher, and Bonte Hill.
Has COVID-19 made it hard to pay your rent or utilities? Are you worried about eviction? Eligible.
That first rain of the year. The streets can be slick.
Boy.
I was coming down 280, and I did a little woo.
Yeah, I did a couple of those, man.
Little slip and slide.
Boy was going 60 miles an hour, going crazy.
Yeah, my windshield wiper was like, woo. I had it on
good to
full
have
blast.
rain. It's good to have rain.
No, it is.
But, oh, man, it's those freeways, man. You hit some puddles. All
right, you want to know how I know I'm really old? Because I sat there last night as I was taking my dogs out to the potty, and I'm sitting there staring at my lawn, and I'm like, yes, natural rain. Let's go, baby. Let's go. What?
You know you're old when you're like in a car and it starts raining and then you just look around, you're like, we need it.
Yeah. So true, but we do
free
need
car
it.
wash. That's how I think about it. Free car wash.
Yeah, in the Batmobile?
Batmobile,
All right,
yeah.
let's get
It's
back
rinsed
into the
off.
Niners, because
Not
I have a thing that I've been thinking about. I don't understand the financials, right, when it comes to the NFL. I just don't understand why the Niners are so obsessed with saving money. It's always about saving money. Right, it really is. Like, think about it. Like, well, we keep these two guys, but we got to get rid of that guy. But we save money and we fit it under the cap. The thing that drives me bonkers is that there is a tool to help you retain players. Because at the end of the day, the salary cap is there. But the whole point of the salary cap, in my opinion, is I am trying to build the best possible roster that fits just under that cap. Just under that cap, and gives me enough wiggle room throughout the year to be able to sign people.
Right.
The franchise tag is a tool to help you retain your own players. Now, at times, people have used that tool in the wrong direction. I point to Washington and I say to
Kirk
myself,
Cousins.
But you know what? I don't think it was a bad move by either.
Worked out. One and one. Hey,
over and
play it
over
out.
and
play
over
it
again.
Out. Play it out.
In the last 10 years, how many times do you think the Niners have used the franchise tag?
They used it. Didn't they use it on a kicker?
They use it on Robbie Gould, which is the stupidest thing of all time.
I've never heard of a kicker getting franchised. I only recall one time.
Who?
Robbie Gould.
Okay, so they used it on Abreu Franklin way back when.
Oh, Abreu
Remember
Franklin.
him?
Oh, yeah.
The D-tackle before
lineman.
they picked up Glenn Dorsey from the Kansas City Chiefs, and they used it on Deshaun Golson, which was a great move back then. Deshaun was a good safety for the
Not
Niners,
bad.
and I wanted to keep him. My whole thing with the franchise tag, I use the franchise tag in 3 different instances. One, when I can't come to an agreement with a player, but I want to keep him around, and I want to, continue the talks. Number 2, to see if a player can repeat the year that they had before I break them off money. Or 3, to just hold on to the player so that I can maybe move that individual to get something back in return.
So I would have done with Eric Armstead.
So here we go. So DeForest Buckner was under contract for $11 million with the 49ers. And everybody was panicking about Jimmy Ward and Armstead and all. We got to keep everyone back. Guys, why didn't we just franchise tag Eric Armstead? Like, okay, it's $4 or $5 million over, whatever. I knew Tevin Coleman stunk. I told you that. I knew Jerick McKinnon stunk.
Tevin Coleman, look here, this is, I don't want to get into Tevin Coleman, but he ran hard in 2019.
He did.
He ran hard, and people forget that I thought he was a really good back. People forget the Minnesota game when he rammed it down the Vikings' throat. Niners ran the ball 12 straight times. Coleman runs for over 100 yards. Coleman was a good back for the Niners. He just couldn't stay healthy.
I agree, but when you tell me that you can have anyone tote the rock back there and you spend more at that position than anyone else in the NFC West.
The McKinnon situation really hurt them.
It did.
That's the one that hurt them.
No
That's
doubt.
the one. I thought Tevin Coleman ran hard in 2019, but I don't want to get
Regardless. But my point being is that, there were a lot of little moves where I saw the writing on the wall. D Ford. I told you day one, D4, that's an overpay, and I get it. You had to do it because you gave a second-round pick. But, they tried to move around the money on D4 thinking he'd be healthy in 2020 and in 2021. The writing was on the wall. Now, I understand you want to roll it back. Well, then roll the damn thing back. Use the franchise tag to your advantage. Make Eric Armstead have another great year, and then come back to the table the following year and be like, yo, Eric, look, you finally had 2 back-to-back comprehensive seasons. We'll have no problem paying you. What I'm getting at is that they have had tools to keep this thing together using the financials, and they could have massaged it, and yet they decided to panic and trade and then get another 13th overall pick.
I'm with you on the franchise tag with Eric Armstead. I'm with you on re-signing him. I'm with you on paying DeForest Buckner before Eric Armstead. I'm with you there. But I agree with the trade with D Ford. Even though he had a lot of injury histories, D Ford was impactful in 2019.
No, he was.
His biggest issue again, when you trade those assets and pay big money, you got to look at the player's medical.
He's got to stay healthy.
He's got to stay healthy.
But also,
and like even this year, when he's on the field, he's been impactful for the most part.
He's playing 12 snaps a game.
Who's that on?
It's on everyone. It's on everyone.
It doesn't make sense.
No, but here's the problem with the DeForest.
And I get the DeForest move because you didn't know that Kyler Murray was going to enter the draft.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No one knew.
So you didn't know that, and you needed a pass rush because the 49ers could not get to the quarterback.
It's not the isolated DeForest move.
Right.
For me, it's why did you restructure his contract and put money over multiple years? They had it set up so they could get out of that contract and would give them more wiggle room. And instead, they were very bullish on DeForest, and they tried to finagle all of the money and roll it over because they restructured it after 1 year, and they tried to spread it out over multiple years. The point that I'm getting at is that everyone says it's Armstead and Ward or Buckner. That's not what it was. It was the totality of the other 45 guys on the roster and how they managed that money. That's the issue that I have with the DeForest Buckner move. And you have to pay and compensate people that are team leaders that help bring you up. He wasn't a bum. He was a stud.
Let's hear from Shanahan on DeForest Buckner and recaps the decision to trade DeForest Buckner, former first-round pick, out of Oregon. Here's Shanahan yesterday at the podium.
I miss Buck a lot, knew we would. That was a very tough decision, not one that we wanted to do. One that going through all the situations, looking at the money, the contract, the salary cap that year. We just came off a big season with how well our defense played, and we had a number of guys that we thought that were up that year as unrestricted free agents. They weren't 2 years away. We also knew we had guys in the future we had to pay. So wanted to keep Buck bad, but we had to look at all that stuff and that went into it. And, there's lots of things that go into it, but, it wasn't something we were high-fiving or anything over after it happened. It came down to, do you want to pay this amount of money to one guy, or do you want to keep two of the guys you already have that you will lose and plus add a 13th pick in the draft? So it had nothing to do with not valuing Buck or anything like that. It was the situation of that year and that we didn't want to lose two players and a 13th pick in the draft. So,
well, that sounds good, and that's Shanahan right there. Well, you have the 13th pick. Obviously, you get a first-round pick from the Colts. You trade the 13th pick with Tampa Bay. You move down to 14. Tampa Bay gets Tristan Wirfs at right tackle. He's a really good right tackle out of Iowa. Really, really good player protecting Tom Brady. Kinlaw has a knee situation, and Kinlaw's had a setback. And he's got to stay healthy. But also the other two guys you paid, he's talking about Eric Armstead and George Kittle. And I give Eric Armstead credit. He's been on the football field. He was on the football field last season. He's been on the football field this season. And he has made plays. He has made plays. We cannot dispute that. But George Kittle, the other guy you paid, which we don't talk about enough, has not been on the football field. Some of that is a byproduct of the quarterback throwing high and putting them in, dangerous situations and getting them hit in places that you don't need to be getting hit in, which is going to keep you off the football field. But you paid George Kittle, and George Kittle hasn't given you the production. He hasn't given you the bang for the buck.
We agree there,
and that's an issue.
Well, I think
we don't talk about.
No, I agree with that, but I think the bigger issue for me as a Niner fan, we got a little Matt Millen thing going on here, and no one wanted to ever admit it. Solomon Thomas, DeForest Buckner, back to back. Then we're going to go back in with Bosa. Right. Then we're going to go back and pay Armstead, who was before DeForest Buckner, and then we're going to draft Javon Kinlaw. Dog, that's 6 straight years of first-round talent on the defensive line, and I don't see the impact. And the second rounder you traded for DeForest, and I'm sitting here and I'm saying the Niners better have the best defensive line in the entire league, and I don't think they do today.
And they don't have it now. Trent Baalke was part of that regime of taking Buckner and then Armstead.
No doubt. And the scheme has changed.
The scheme has changed. The Solomon Thomas pick was awful. It's all-time bad. It's all-time bad. Right? It's all-time bad. You can't get over that one. All right? The DeForest trade, it's not working out for you. It worked out in 2019. He misses all of 2020. He's playing 12 snaps against the Seattle Seahawks. That's a problem. He's got to play more. I don't even know how many snaps. I got to look at the snap count for Arizona. I had that for everybody after the break. But Kinlaw, it's not working out right now. And I get it. And Shanahan said this. And I want you to hold that thought.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
I'm frustrated.
Something to think about. Shanahan said, whenever I play Madden, I built from the D-line out. Okay. Is that a mistake, folks? 888-957-9570. Because even with Nick Bosa, this defense, they've been solid. They've been very good, but you've lost 3 straight games, which tells me you need offensive punch. And your offensive players are just not getting it done. And that's where the focus needs to be, Shasky.
I'm not going to pick on Kinlaw. I'm going to pick on taking a defensive tackle 13th overall. I'm very frustrated with that. And then I contrast that with the secondary. I'll explain more.
All right, coming up, more 49ers talk. We'll get into Jimmy Garoppolo making his return. Don't forget, Warriors home opener tonight. There's limited tickets available. Warriors.com. Go to Warriors.com if you want to get in the building for the home opener. It's the first time this building is going to be at full capacity for the first time since March of 2020 when they got blown out by the Clippers. Well, guess what? It's payback, baby. Clippers are back in town. Warriors.com for more tickets. Bob Myers at 8:40 right here on the Morning Roast. And that's all coming up. Brought to you by Golden State Lumber as an essential service. Their lumber yards remain open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Call 855-GSL-YARD or visit GoldenStateLumber.com.
The Bays team is back.
Curve by 28. Nails.
Nut butter makes it delightfully sweet. Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get 2 great tastes in one delicious bar. Enjoy a Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bar today.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
Home opener for the Warriors coming up tonight against the LA Clippers. Tip-off at 7 p.m. Warriors Live brought to you by Xfinity at 5:30 with Damon Bruce and Ray Rattle. Of course, you can catch me on TV, NBC Sports Bay Area with Chris Mullen and Darrell Wright. We'll have Warriors Live at 6 p.m. And hopefully the rain dies down, because if the rain dies down, we'll be at Chase Center tonight. Chase Center, baby, for the home opener against the LA Clippers. And they're missing a lot of dudes. But the spread, the spread was only 3.5. Warriors only favored by 3.5, which I found very, very interesting there. So we'll get into the Warriors a little bit later here as they beat the LA Lakers in their season opener, 121-114. Of course, the Giants are off, so you got the Astros and Dodgers and Braves. Braves 1 game away from the World Series. Astros 1 game away from the World Series. I'm not mad at that World Series. Astros, Braves, I can live with that. Yeah. I can't live with the Dodgers, Astros, Dodgers, Red Sox World Series. Can't live with that at all. But let's talk some Niners here as they get ready to take on the Colts. Sunday night football at Levi Stadium. The Colts come in at 2-4. And look, they got off to a rocky start. They finally beat the Dolphins to get off the snide. They lose a thriller on Monday Night Football to the Ravens, and they beat up on the Texans last week. And they got firepower. T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor, Hines. They got weapons, and they got a defense led by DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard, that are looking to make a name for themselves on Sunday, to make an impact on Sunday. And the 49ers, who are these Niners? 888-957-9570. I want to know how the fans and the roasters are feeling about the 49ers right now, Shasky. They've been off for a week after losing 3 straight games to Green Bay, Seattle, and then Arizona. So they lost 3 straight games. How are Niner fans feeling about the season?
I think a lot of people are frustrated. You asked me a specific question that I want to answer. You asked me about investing in the defensive line. So let's just go back for the 49ers. If you're a Niner fan, your first round picks, okay? Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. This is in a row. DeForest Buckner, Solomon Thomas. Okay?
Solomon Thomas is the one.
Right?
We get there. I don't want to go. Look, not taking a quarterback in that draft, Deshaun Watson, is still affected the 49ers today.
So Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, Solomon Thomas, and then in 2018, Mike McGlinchey, all right? 2019, Nick Bosa, 2020, Kinlaw, all right? That's literally 5 out of the last 6 years before taking the quarterback. You've drafted on this. Then you throw in the second-round pick that you gave up for D Ford. So you're telling me all of that capital, all that money, all of the draft slots you've spent to that position, is that a strength of the team right now?
It's probably the strength of this team.
Yeah, but like around the league, is this like,
it's a top 10 unit.
Agreed. Now, there's a limit though. Like, I get it. You're trying to like bolster the D-line, win in the trenches.
Real quick, I think the better way to look at it is who's left from that.
Well, that's
Solomon Thomas is gone.
There you go.
DeForest Buckner's gone. D Ford's playing 12 snaps against the Seattle Seahawks.
Pretty much gone.
He's pretty much gone. That's 3 guys pretty much gone.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? That's and then Mike McGlinchey, let's face it, he's been an average right tackle.
Absolutely. But here's the problem that I have with that 13th overall pick you got back for Buckner. That was an opportunity to kind of spread the wealth around. I'm a believer, like D tackle, you hit on DeForest Buckner. Very few first-round draft pick D tackles end up balling out. You could find a Mo Hurst every single year. And I look at Javon, if he's not going to be a 3-down impact star, that's just a bad value. It's just really bad value. You talked about this, and I agree with this. It used to be you build from the inside out. And that was the way that everyone built their team for years and years and years and years and years. And it made sense. sense. Now, I'm not saying the defensive and offensive lines don't matter. They absolutely do. But you know what else is really important in today's freedom of movement era where you can't kill a wide receiver? Boundary players, guys on the outside. Have you seen who's balling right now? Arizona got 4 ridiculous receivers. The Buffalo Bills are ascending because they made an unreal trade to go get Stephon Diggs, which helped their quarterback.
And by the way, you see Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah, he's balling. Now,
you see Kendrick Bourne?
Yeah, balling. Now, I'm not done. Why do you think Tampa Bay, look, their D-line was awesome in that game. But you know what else helps? Throwing to Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Mike Evans. Oh, and yeah, you got 2 sick tight ends in Gronkowski, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate's always open. I look at the Green Bay Packers. Look at the Green Bay Packers. Devontae? You don't think Devontae's been a fountain of youth for Aaron Rodgers? So, like, as great as defensive line play is, and I love it, you can, unless you're going to be a 3-down player, that 13th overall pick needed to be a superstar impact type player. And I look at missing on CeeDee Lamb is going to haunt this team forever. I look at who's balling this year. I referenced Arizona. Look at Dallas's offense.
Well, look at Henry Ruggs with the Raiders.
Offense.
Look at Henry Ruggs with the Raiders.
Balling. And so the point is, like, yes, there's a time and a place for defensive and offensive line play. And I agree, investing in that. The Niners have invested in both the O and D lines, and I just don't think that those trees are bearing fruit.
I don't mind investing in defensive linemen, but it's who you invested in.
Well, I agree. But also, can I get some defenders that can cover some of these elite receivers?
Well, here's the mistake. All right, C.J. Henderson, we'll see what happens in Carolina with him. A lot of people wanted him out here in San Francisco. We'll see what happens with him. The Solomon Thomas draft, the first ever draft for John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. We're getting ready for a game against the Indianapolis Colts. And DeForest Buckner's on the other sideline. And part of the reason why you couldn't pay him or you didn't want to pay him is because, you wanted to pay Eric Armstead to keep him. You wanted to pay George Kittle and keep him. You wanted 2 players to pay, and you paid those 2 players, and you got an extra pick that you made Javon Kinlaw. And Jimmy Ward, no doubt, who hasn't had an interception in 5 years.
Neither him nor Tart since 2016.
In 5 years.
We're like the only secondary in the league.
5 years. It's been 5 years. All right, you look at D4 against Arizona. Played 11 snaps against Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
11 snaps. That's 23 snaps in the last 2 games before the bye week. All right? It's kind of laughable. But
23 snaps in the last 2 games.
You touched on it. This is an offensive league.
Yes.
And when you're starting to get franchise, most people will start their franchise with the quarterback to get it out the way and build around the quarterback. Josh Allen, Buffalo, you talk about this all the time. All right, you go draft Josh Allen. How do we build around him? Well, we go trade for Stephon Diggs. Let's go have Cole Beasley play the slot.
Great trades.
We have Dawson Knox at tight end. Oh, what do you know? We signed Emmanuel Sanders, who looks phenomenal right now. Looks phenomenal in that Buffalo offense. All right, Dallas, you have Dak Prescott. Let's go get your running back in Ezekiel Elliott. Okay, we need wide receivers. Let's go trade for Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Let's draft CeeDee Lamb. Oh, we got Michael Gallup in the slot.
Who's a baller.
Now I got 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now I have Tony Pollard. You take the quarterback to build around him. And here we are in year 5. We're still discussing whether or not Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo should start at quarterback.
I know. Which we're all fatigued.
We're all fatigued.
I think we're all fatigued.
We're not even going there. Jimmy Garoppolo's going to start.
Yeah.
I do want to ask the 49er fans, what do I expect from this offense that's not going to have George Kittle this Sunday against the Colts? You don't take the quarterback in Deshaun Watson or Mahomes, for that matter. And maybe this is why I had a problem with John Lynch coming out saying, we're at Patrick Mahomes' pro day, and I called Kyle Shanahan and said, hey, man, we may need to rethink our board here. This Mahomes guy is phenomenal. And you say, no, we're going to stick with Solomon Thomas, and you draft a player, and you don't know what position he is. That is too high of a pick to spend on a defensive lineman where you don't know whether or not he's an end or D tackle. And 5 years later, we're still talking about the quarterback, whether or not Jimmy's ready to go or Trey Lance is going to be the answer. Where you could have built this sucker around Deshaun Watson. Shanahan with Deshaun Watson. Now, again, Deshaun Watson's into a situation now that we didn't know about. And he's got to rectify that, and we got to figure it out. Sounds like he's about to be heading to Miami in a 3-team deal. We'll see about that. But that decision, it's not about the D lineman. Okay, spinning D lineman, you want to do that, fine. You got to stop the run. Defensive lines dominating the Super Bowl. We've seen that. But not drafting Deshaun Watson and then not re-signing DeForest Buckner, I mean, we're here now.
Well, look, and I'm not trying to. You're 100% correct. I'm not trying to diminish offensive and defensive line play. It absolutely matters.
It matters, but you need playmakers, Shasky.
That's okay. So look, I'm going to go Joe Burrow. Can we all agree? Cincinnati, 0 studs a year and a half ago. 0.
They had Joe Mixon. That's it.
Okay, and I love Mixon. We all love Mixon.
But you get the quarterback.
They got Joe Burrow, and then they got him T. Higgins, and T. Higgins is baller, right? And then instead of taking the left tackle, Penei Sewell, who everyone was like, Joe Burrow got his knee wrecked last year. How could you not get an offensive lineman for this guy? He said, no, get me Jamar Chase.
And look at Jamar Chase.
No, look at the Bengals. Are they not one of the fun teams in the league right now where you're like, hey, in about a year or so, look out for these Bengals.
Dude.
They're in every game.
Every game, throwing the ball deep, throwing the ball short, running the football down people's throats. And they got Shamaji P. Ryan from Oklahoma backing up Joe Mixon. I mean, it didn't build playmakers. You need playmakers. And now we look at Sunday. Guess what? Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be without George Kittle, he's hurt again.
Yes.
It's just a fact.
Yes.
He has 14 touchdowns in his career. 14 touchdowns in his career, none this season. Ayuk. Guy can't even get on the football field.
I know.
You're throwing to Mohamed Sanu on third downs. So now your offense is lacking in an offensive league, and you're asking your defense to overcompensate. And defense has been fine.
Yes.
But the draft compensation, the draft capital, and then when you do spin on playmakers, Dante Pettis, Jalen Hurd, Jawan Jennings, you're not really playing them.
Yeah.
I mean, the running back with Joe Williams take in the fourth round, and you cut him.
The running back thing is really boggling to me.
Trey Sermon, 2 snaps against Arizona.
But if you're going to be so reliant on running backs, and then you went the whole free agent route, like invest a second-round pick into a running back you love, or even a first if you have to, if there's a guy that you love. Because clearly all these backups, it's not working for you. Like, yeah, you squeezed the lemon on Matt Breida until Matt Breida got whapped in a real game, and then realized, oh, yeah, Matt Breida ain't the one. And the same thing has happened to a lot of these other smaller running backs that they've had. Well, Raheem Mostert, we love Raheem Mostert. The guy can't stay on the field. The guy just can't stay on the field. I want to continue to just say that you can never have enough playmakers. For me, I look at what the Kansas City's gone through. Now, they revamped their entire offensive line after a horrible performance in the Super Bowl, but they got to the Super Bowl. They got to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. They invested in a first-round running back in Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? They're still hurting because they don't have enough wide receivers for their all-world quarterback.
Right.
They're literally saying to themselves, oh, my God, I can't believe we allowed Sammy Watkins to leave. Oh, my God, Mecole Hardman's not as good as we thought he was.
My God, let's bring in Josh Gordon, who hasn't played in how long?
and the Chiefs are good. We all agree. Like, the Chiefs, if they make the wild card, scariest wild card team
out there.
You'd be like, I do not want to face the Chiefs. The point I keep going back to, just look around the league. Every single team has weapons galore, and they can never have enough. And yet I feel like the Niners are obsessed with 1985 D-tackle 2-down linemen.
Yeah,
and it's like, I get it. You want to invest in that. But at some point, get me some damn playmakers on the boundaries.
No doubt. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and HC1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, Bonta Hill. We got Langford on the board. John Curley around here somewhere. Where is Curly at? I have no idea. I haven't seen him all day. Your phone call's coming up. 888-957-9570. Bob Myers will join us, president of basketball ops and GM of the Golden State Warriors. He'll join us at 80-40.
How are you, Bob?
How are you, Bob? We'll talk some Warriors basketball a little bit later because they got a home opener against the LA Clippers down at Chase Center. Tip-off at 7 p.m. Don't forget about Warriors Live with Damian Bruce and Ray Rattle previewing that game, leading you up to tip-off and Tim Roy and Tom Tolbert right here on these airwaves as the Warriors host the Clippers. Warriors-Clippers home opener, man. How excited are you about that at Chase Center?
So pumped.
We're running hot here on the 49ers. And, of course, the Morning Roast, all brought to you by Timeless Coffee, our good friends at Timeless Coffee. We needed it this morning. We were tired. We're loaded. We're not going to get sleep tonight. We're not going to get sleep tonight because the Warriors are going to be playing tonight. And we're going to be running high off of that. But let's go out to the line, Shasky.
Yeah.
Chambry in Arizona. He wants to talk some 49er football here on the Morning Roast. What's up, Chambry?
Yeah, man, just angry is the best way I can describe it. Just frustrated and angry, just with everything that has been going on. I mean, I love Coach. We've given him enough damn time, but I mean, the dude's carrying himself like he's Bill Belichick without Bill Belichick production. He's carrying himself and interacting with the media like he's Greg Popovich without Greg Popovich production. And it all starts, like you guys pretty much already touched on it. I don't need to revisit all that, but everything just, I mean, they're not obsessed with D linemen. It seems like they're obsessed with torn ACLs, Achilles, or whatever, and just banking that they can hit a home run on one of these guys. But the problem is they aren't even getting them on the cheap with these injury histories. They're paying the price, whether it's draft capital or money, and they're not producing. And I look across, you guys know I'm here in Arizona, so I'm looking at the enemy at the Cardinals. You know what Keim's doing every time he misses? Guess what? He drafts Josh Rosen. Nope, not our guy. Out of here. We're about to go get Murray. He drafts Hassan Reddick. He has one good year. And guess where he's at now? Carolina. They didn't pay him like we did 91 because I ain't going to say his name. Then they bring in a free agent, bring him back home like Terrell Suggs, spend some money. Guess what? The dude's like a barn door, doesn't produce nothing. Get him out of here. Eat the money, and he goes to Kansas City, gets his chicken, and whatever the case may be. But they're making moves and admit when they're wrong and go and correct it. We ain't done that. We go and get DeForest, pay him his money, doesn't produce, and guess what? He's still on the damn team, not doing a damn thing. So I'm just frustrated and angry with all them boys.
Good call, Chambry. Thanks for the call, Chambry. A.J. Green is a guy I was pounding the table for. And everybody's saying, well, he's hurt. The guy missed like 20 games. I did the math. Guy missed like 20 games. Sure, he's on the injury report every week. So is Julio Jones. But when he's on the football field, he produces. And he was out there lingering because you needed playmakers. You needed a big-time wide receiver. All right? They noticed that in 2019 and traded for Emmanuel Sanders. Shasky, it's just like you get Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. You have premium talent on the outside. Deebo Samuel's a baller. Brandon Ayuk from last year, he's a baller. You need playmakers and the draft compensation and who you sign and who you re-sign. It's having an effect on the 49ers today.
There's no doubt. And it's not just the draft. So to me, it's also allocation of funds. That's the number one thing. The league is a salary cap league. You've been seeing on the internet, well, the Rams have lost this player and that player. What's the Rams record today?
Dude, 5-1.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the top 10 players paid out by the Rams. This is important because I'm a big believer in how you allocate your funds.
Right.
If I pay $4 million for a home that's really only worth $1 million, that's not good value. But if I pay $600,000 for a home that's really worth $1 million, that's really good value. Matthew Stafford's the number one highest paid player on their team right now in terms of cap hit this year. Then it's Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Havenstein, their right tackle, who's very good this year, Robert Woods, Higbee, Whitworth, their left tackle, Leonard Floyd, one of their outside linebackers, and Cooper Kupp. Those are their best players.
And they're ballers.
All of their best players.
Ballers.
Okay.
And they're in contention all the time.
Okay. So all of their top 10 paid players are literally their best 10 players. Then I look at the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo, Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, D. Ford, Trent Williams, Tomlinson, Lance, McGlinchey, Ward, Ibukam. Is Jimmy Garoppolo, D. Ford, Laken Tomlinson, Mike McGlinchey, Jimmy Ward, and Ibukam, are those their top 10 players?
No. Ibukam played 22 snaps against Arizona. I didn't hear his name during the broadcast.
Ibukam. Now I know there's a contingent. I know there's a contingent of people that want to sit here and say, "Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo wins games and all this." Yeah, he does. But there's a financial element to all of this, and the fact that you've invested the money in D. Ford, Jimmy G, even Laken Tomlinson, he's been okay. McGlinchey, Jimmy Ward, and Ibukam, you're not getting the squeeze on the lemon the way the Rams are.
Let me ask you something. There's no doubt about that. I 100% agree with that. But what's the vibe 49er fans have right now? They're 2-3. And to me, it sounds like every 49er fan is saying the sky is falling. The sky's falling. The season's over. I don't buy that. You could easily be 4-1. You could be easily 5-0. I get it. You could be 1-4. You could be 0-5. You'd be 1-4. Detroit. You beat up Detroit pretty good. But you could be 4-1. You could be 4-1. Mason Crosby couldn't hit a field goal in Cincinnati. Hits when it gets you to win the game.
I mean, are you kidding me?
3. You know what I'm saying? Arizona, you hold them to 17 points. You crossed the 50-yard line 8 times in that football game with their rookie quarterback making his first start on the road. You dominated Seattle for an entire half. You hold them to 5 straight 3-and-outs, and yet you're tied at halftime. Is the sky falling for Niner fans? Because I don't – that's what it sounds like to me. And I think it's a little Like, let's see how they play on Sunday.
No, I'm with you, but Bonte, they're in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. If they lose to the Colts, that's 4 in a row. How many playoff teams lose 4 in a row during the regular season? Like, that's not many, not many.
Well, we got to do the data research on that one. But you look at the wild card, for example. Minnesota's 3.
They're only a game out of the wild card?
Yeah, it'd be half game out. All right, the Saints are 3-2. Do we really believe in Jameis Winston?
No, we don't.
All right, Minnesota 3-3,
and they're getting Michael Thomas back at some point.
They are getting Michael Thomas.
So,
back.
That's where I get a little worried. I mean, they're getting one of the top again, another boundary
Minnesota.
player.
Is Minnesota really good?
Kirk Cousins is having a good year.
They're balling. I mean, he's got weapons.
I know. Oh, that's another thing.
He's got weapons. Chicago's 3-3. They got a great defense.
Yeah, and they're playing their young guy through the ups and downs. I don't believe in them, but I agree with you.
Carolina's lost 3 straight.
Yeah.
I mean, so do we really believe in them? Like, the Niners can win this game and be back in the mix.
I'm totally with you.
So why is the sky falling for Niner fans?
Because I think it's
I get a weird vibe from Niner fans right now.
I think it's all of the other stuff. Right. How you've handled the quarterback. Obviously, the frustration with the injury situation. Look, right now, your star rookie quarterback who's barely played got hurt because you ran him into the ground. George Kittle, your superstar tight end, is hurt. He's hurt right now. You know, I look at what's his face, Brandon Ayuk, another guy that I see every Giants game, every Warrior game. I'm watching your channel, NBC Bay Area, and I see 10,000 Brandon Ayuk commercials, and I'm like, how is this guy not on my field? And I'm seeing Mohamed Sanu get as many snaps as him. So I just think there's a lot of stuff going on. Your top running back out for the year. Right, your free agent acquisition and Alex Mack has been Your defense can't cover a nosebleed.
I think the defense has been solid. I think the defense has been very good this season.
It has, but all your corners are hurt.
It's been very good this season. So, and despite the corners being hurt, I think the defense has been really good. The segment was presented by Go to State Lumber as an essential service. Their lumber yards remain open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Call 855-GSO-YARD or visit GoToStateLumber.com. Also, what's coming up in the game brought to you by BMW Fairfield. We got the heavy hitters on the line. Joel, Will, Robin, Soundholt will get you on the other side. We promise you we'll get to you right before we get to Brian Baldinger at 7:30. Baldy joins us every single week. We had to push him to Thursday due to the season opener on Tuesday. Baldy will join the morning roast at 7:30. You want to be around for that one, and that will be brought to you by BMW Fairfield, now open in the Fairfield Auto Mall. They provide a luxurious, all-encompassing experience to address all of your BMW needs. Visit BMWFairfield.com today to book your visit. That's BMWFairfield.com.
Tonight, it's the Warriors home opener, and Damon Bruce and Nick Friedel are live from Chase Center.
Curry gets free for 3. Got it! Curry with a 3-ball off a great pick by Draymond.
That was about as clean a look as he's had all night.
Hear Damon Bruce and Nick Friedel live from Chase Center, starting at 3. And pregame coverage starts.
Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles everywhere.
Wait, but where can we use them?
You can use Capital One Venture Miles on any travel purchase.
Venture gets an A+.
Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Bill Burr is coming to Oakland Arena on May 14th next year, and 95.7 The Game wants you to be there.
I'm telling you, you can live too long. You can live too long. I'm telling you, you wear out your welcome.
Visit the contest page on 957thegame.com to enter now.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
Oh, I love this beat. Oh, this is the open to the new Power track, the Power Show, Canaan, Raising Canaan.
Oh, really?
This is the old school one, though.
Do you
50 Cent remixed this beat, though. This beat is hard.
50. Do you guys have? We're gonna get right back into the Niners.
You know where I found this, right?
Where?
I found it through the Odyssey exclusive station.
Whoa! What station is this?
This is the 80s hip hop and R&B.
Oh!
So if you hit the Explore button on the Odyssey app, you'll go right to the exclusive stations. They'll have a category there, and you got plenty you can choose from. But I went with 80s classic hip hop and R&B.
What is the name of this track, Langford?
Rising to the Top by Kenny Burke. And this was the first one that popped up on the playlist.
This is so good.
That should be the name of our show.
That should be the name of the show. By the way, the new Odyssey exclusive station on the Odyssey app, brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. Man, that beat is clean.
Two things today. If you're driving around, you're going to be going slower. Go slower. The roadways are wet. They always tell you that the worst freeway is after a couple of hard hours, all of the oils and the slick of everything that's been sitting there, the residue.
Make sure your tires are right.
Yeah, everything's real slick. You and I both almost had accidents this morning coming in. Go nice and slow. We're going to have Bob Myers on in about an hour.
8:40.
Okay?
8:40.
In about an hour.
Hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then right after that, I have a fun thing I'm going to drop in the lap of Willard and Dibbs.
Oh, wow.
We are going to flip the script today.
That's a tease.
I hope they're ready for it.
That's a tease.
Yeah. I hope they're ready for it. I want to ask you this, though, B, because I want to get back into the Warriors. And I want to get into the Niners.
We will get to the Warriors. Baldy at 7:30.
Oh, nice.
We will have Warriors talk for the last hour. It's all Warriors, your phone calls, because you know what? Clippers in town, and I feel good about the home opener tonight. By the way, limited tickets available at Warriors.com if you want to get in the building. Got limited tickets available. Should be a fun night at Chase Center. It's going to be full capacity, folks.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. How excited are you about the Niners Colts though on Sunday Night Football?
Well, I'm a little conflicted. I was supposed to take my grandfather to this game. I told you that for quite some time. But, he's 86 years old, and I'm not having him sit in the rain. That's too dangerous for him. At night, given everything that's going on in his health right now, I'm not going to have him sit in the rain because it's supposed to rain over the weekend. So I want to watch the Warriors at the same time.
Full capacity, by the way, for the first time since March 10th of 2020. Wow,
it's going to be
at
awesome.
Chase Center.
So you brought up a great point, and I know I've been not negative, but I've been assessing the situation for the 49ers this morning. A win this weekend would do them wonders. It would be exactly what the doctor ordered. When you got a little headache and maybe you drink an orange juice, maybe you drink a coffee, maybe you eat a little greasy food, like whatever it is that you have to do in your life to kind of reset yourself and feel good again, that is what the Niners need this weekend. If Jimmy Garoppolo starts and they end up losing, man, I think that there is a segment of the fan base that's going to be done with the situation.
We're talking about that Solomon Thomas draft where they pass up Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. It looks worse because I forgot they drafted C.J. Beathard in the third round, who is now in Jacksonville. And then you flipped around midseason and said, oh, no, we need a quarterback because Kirk Cousins is not going to be available, so let's go get Jimmy Garoppolo. And here we are now. Here we are now. Let's go back out to the lines here. Don't forget to download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates as well as links to the top interviews. Nick Bosa was on with Damon and Ratto yesterday. Really fun stuff. We'll play some sound from that in just a second. Best moments on the game, powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. 888-957-9570. We're going to go to the calls. Last on
Hit the calls. Hit the calls. Right. We're on YouTube and Twitch, everybody. Yep. Hit the subscribe button. Search out 95.7 The Game. Boom. Hit the subscribe button. We want to get this bad boy up to 10K. We want 10,000 subscribers on both platforms.
By the end of the year.
Yeah, and the thing I want to say about our YouTube audience, they're the dopest. They are in before the show even starts.
Yeah, they're rolling.
We've got 50 people sitting in the chat just waiting, firing it up, and you can get your texts in there as well. So let's go to the calls.
Sometimes I go back and look at the chat, and I'm like, man, they were getting on my outfit, man. They didn't like the brown shoes with the blue suit.
Look at you. You opened it up because you're wearing a saucy olive green, army green sweatsuit today.
This is pretty good.
Yeah,
huh?
you look fly.
Boost. John Curley approved. John Curley said, man, that is pretty good stuff. Let's go to Will and Marin.
How does the food on the Star Trek Enterprise taste like? That joke was just terrible.
It was bad.
No. It was a very good joke.
Captain
I just didn't
Picard.
want to laugh because it made me feel bad about myself wearing this outfit.
It does look like the Star Trek Next Generation, now that I see it.
It was pretty good. Will
and Marin.
Who's Captain Kirk? Who's Spock? Who's the guy with the ears? That's Spock, right? You're Dana?
Data, the guy with the little...
Oh, yeah, with the little glasses.
Yeah,
that's the new Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yeah, that's what you
I'm
look
talking about the
like.
original.
Yeah, but you look more like New Generation.
All right. Will and Moran, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? Yeah, thanks for taking my call. I think one of the issues is it hurts when you pass up on a CD Lamb or a Deshaun Watson or something like that, but that shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's all hypothetical. The more painful thing is when you have two guys, one in Eric Armstead and then one in DeForest Buckner. I don't understand what they saw in Armstead that they didn't see in DeForest Buckner. He was getting consistently better. He was growing. He was evolving. He was becoming an anchor. And they go and they sign the guy who's had some pretty low seasons. He's had some highlights, but he hasn't been consistent. That's the stuff that really hurts you. And then another thing that hurts you is that when you're paying a guy like Jimmy G, who's, in my opinion, more closer to a backup, you're paying him starter money.
Exactly.
So essentially with him and Armstead, you're paying two backups starter money, and that also can cripple you. And that I feel that's going to haunt them much, 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 much more.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for the call, Will. Now, Garoppolo looks like a backup now. Didn't look like that after 2018. It didn't look like that in 2019. And then 2020 happens. So, is he a backup now? I think so. But he wasn't 2 years ago. He wasn't 3 years ago. Let's go to Robin in the city real quick. Robin, you're here on the roast. Good morning, Robin. How you doing?
Hi, you guys. Thank you for always giving me a voice. And I haven't talked to you guys, so thank you for taking my phone call. I kind of disagree with you, Bonte, that he's still not a backup, but that's I'll see you in person and we can have a tequila.
Wait, are you saying Garoppolo's a backup now?
Yeah, so listen. I call. Let me put it.
Wow, you flipped because you were not in on Trey Lance, Robin.
Wait, no, please listen to what I'm saying, okay? So, Joe, I wanted to address the issue about Jimmy. Jimmy fell in their lap when Shanahan took over, right? And that's another thing. People gather down on him because what it's not going right or whatever they perceive. But I always look at. Do you want Bucky and what's his name, Harbaugh?
No.
You know what I'm saying? And so no. Okay, so that's just I want to throw that in there. So at the time they needed a quarterback. Jimmy fell in their lap, so it was a matter of timing, like presidents, right? Biden won because Trump was terrible, right? So it's a timing thing. So then he played those last 5 games and did great, looked great, and so he got paid based off the scarcity
Agreed.
of the position. Okay, so you got to apply context to what's happening here from year to year. The last caller is talking about what they didn't see in this player over the other. Shanahan Shanahan is saying, because of money, salary cap issues. Now, whether those are the right choices or not, but he's telling you why. And I'm hearing you, Joe, as to why you think they're making the wrong fiscal decisions. So let's narrow it down to the callers who are saying, who's better than this and that? You're honing in on it. It's a fiscal issue, and what you're saying, Joe, if I'm hearing you right, is that they're not spending the money right.
Exactly.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're 100% correct. It's not just, we could do this thing in the draft with every GM. You missed on this guy. You missed on this guy. Oh, you took this guy and he's good, but that guy's better. I could do that till we're blue in the face. They found studs. Fred Warner's a star. Fred Warner is a star. George Kittle is a star. Deebo Samuel's turning into a star. I hope Trey Lance one day can be a star. But it's about how you spend the money on building the roster, because at the end of the day, there's only so much dough to go around.
And Robin's gone just like that. Look, they have spent wrong, but they've also drafted wrongly. And I think at the time, I don't want to have revisionist history here. Jimmy Garoppolo, you poll 9 Niner fans out of 10, you would do the deal again because you needed hope. You had a quarterback who gave you hope.
Of course.
And he gave you aspirations to be in the playoffs the very next season. When he got hurt in Kansas City in 2020, season was over because of Jimmy Garoppolo being injured. And people had a lot of faith in Jimmy G. A lot of faith. So I don't want to have revisionist history. I still think the deal was fair. The deal was fair.
Well, and it's not about Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the league has drastically shifted so quick in the last 3 years when it comes to these quarterbacks in the draft and what we're looking for. Just 5 years ago, Matt Ryan was the MVP of the league, and he was a statue quarterback.
He was getting up there, though, in age.
But what I'm saying is that everyone was looking for, like, would Baker Mayfield go number one overall today?
Absolutely. And he should have never went number one.
No, I know.
In the first place, he should have never went number one.
With the emergence of Kyler and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, we are looking for different traits in our quarterbacks.
This is why in 2017, when you take Solomon Thomas, it goes back to the 2017 draft. I'm telling you, Shasky, it goes back to that draft where you don't take the quarterback who could move around. And you had Watson. Now, do you end up with Nick Bosa because you have Watson? Who knows how everything else plays out? Who knows if Fred Warner Jr. is here? Who knows if Nick Bosa's here? I have no idea. But you would have had the quarterback, because you know what you did in 2017 as the 49ers? You don't take the quarterback. You take C.J. Beathard in the third round. You say, you know what? Damn, maybe this is not the guy. And you mess around and trade a second-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. What do we do? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's a trickle-down effect.
No,
so you had
doubt.
to pay Jimmy. And I think that deal was fair for who Jimmy was.
And it was. It was. I think when it comes boiled down to, I think a lot of 49er fans are starting to realize what I kind of felt during the offseason, which is this year's a transition year. Trey's got a long way to go. I hope he gets there. But until he can even go out there and functionally play the quarterback position over a year or so, I have no idea what to make of the organization, because everything's kind of in pause, in wait, as we see if this guy can be the dude.
All right, let's bring in our main man. Man, it's been long. I got to hear from Baldy, man. I got to feel good about football again. We had a bye week out here in the Bay Area. We got to sit back and watch other teams, and other teams look good. Hit it, Langford. We got Brian Baldinger coming up in 30 seconds.
He breaks down plays better than anyone.
I mean, this is like Shark Week now. And you know what Baker Mayfield is? He's chum. Look at these sharks. You think you're getting away from those 4 angry sharks? It's Shark Week. It's time to eat. Make the read. Urgency. That's the name of the game right here. Urgency. Now, on it. He's on it. Touchdown. Beautiful throw.
He's our 95.7 The Game NFL insider, Brian Baldinger.
It's our NFL insider here at 95.7 The Game. You can find him on Twitter at BaldyNFL, and of course on the NFL Network, Compass Media Networks as well, calling games every single Sunday. Brian Baldinger joins the morning roast here on a Thursday. We usually do it on a Tuesday, but nevertheless, we have Baldy every single week. Good morning, Baldy.
Good morning, guys. Good to be with you. We're getting closer to the weekend. Closer to Sunday night, it should be exciting.
Absolutely. Colts are in town with those beautiful uniforms, with the horseshoe on the helmet. Niners off a bye week, trying to get healthier. Kawhi Williams is back. Jimmy Garoppolo looks like he's going to start at quarterback here. But the vibe out here, Baldy, with this football team, Niner fans are down in the dumps. And I'm saying you get a win this Sunday, and you're right back in the mix for a wild card spot here. But how are they going to beat this Colts team who just lost a great, pretty damn good safety in Julian Blackmon? How are the Niners going to offensively execute at a high level against this Colts defense?
Well, I mean, you got to, they haven't played 4 quarters of football yet, and so you get a chance to really, for Kyle and Lynch and the whole group, they get to kind of scout themselves here for the first 6 weeks, what they've done well, what they haven't done well, and you got to come out. I mean, you're going to be as fresh as you're going to be the rest of the season right now. So, we've seen this Colts team struggle to finish games. They are playing better than they did earlier in the year. Carson Wentz is playing better, but regardless, this has got to be a game where you got to come out and just execute from the first, from the whistle, from the kickoff. I mean, you just got to execute on both sides of the ball, play defense the way they did in the second half of Arizona, and play offense like they started the Detroit game. Like, come out and execute and put the Colts away as quickly as possible, because this is how you have to turn your season around right now. If you lost 3 in a row, they've been in every game. They've had a chance to win every game, especially the Green Bay game. They've got to put it together. And to me, this thing has to start with the run game. They've got to get this run game cranked up. It's who they're supposed to be. And it just hasn't been anywhere near as consistent as it has to be so far.
Well, why is that, Baldy? Because it's going to be raining this weekend. I mean, I'm talking like storm over the weekend. And we saw with Trey Lance out there, they ran so many of those quarterback runs. How do you get that going with Jimmy G under center? Is this a running back situation, like where they're not finding the right holes? Is it an offensive line not creating holes? Why is the running game so bad this year?
Okay, so look, their number one play is the outside zone. I mean, if they run 10 plays, 7 of them are going to be some version of the outside zone, whether it's at 2 back, 1 back, whether you're pulling the tackle or not. I mean, it's an outside zone concept. And they've got to get that play going. It's when they went to the Super Bowl, they ran it better than anybody in the league, and everybody has been copying it, trying to get it the way they did it. And so when I was in Dallas, every quarter, every 4 games, Landry used to just take kind of a macro look at the team and look at certain plays and how we were performing in those plays. And so I would have broken down every outside zone play they ran. And to your question, was it offensive line? Mm-hmm. Was it getting beat at the point? Was it the backs missing a hole? Was it lack of cohesion up front for whatever reason? I mean, you got to investigate every part of that. And then come out and go, okay, listen, guys, this is what we're going to do. We've got to get this thing working, because it's the foundation to everything we do. And hopefully, and I'm sure that they've taken a long, hard look at that.
Brian Baldinger here on 95.7 The Game on the Morning Roast, as he joins us every single week here with Joe Shasky, the Butcher, and Bonte Hill. The Colts come in. They lost their first 3 games, Seattle, L.A., and, of course, the Tennessee Titans. They get off the schneid against the Dolphins, lose a classic to Baltimore where Lamar Jackson just goes crazy and shreds them from the pocket. And they get back on track last week. Carson Wentz, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr. This offense presents a lot of challenges, Baldy, to the 49ers defense. Explain what they do well offensively.
Well, first of all, at 2-4, I mean, Frank Reich has already told everybody in that locker room that it was just 3 years ago they started 1-5 and made the playoffs and won a playoff game. So whatever depth of crypt they're in right now, he's going to tell them that they can get out of it. The one thing about Carson is a cyborg. I mean, nobody gets hit harder than Carson Wentz, and all he does is get up. Now, he's had a ton of injuries, including this season, but he'll stay in there to the very last tick to deliver football. He plays with very little fundamentals, but he's got an unbelievable arm. He feels like he can make every throw. He's highly competitive. He will run against anybody and into anything. But he's the point guard. He's got to make it work. They've been playing without their best offensive lineman for the last 3 weeks in Quentin Nelson. He's a difference maker. Maybe he plays on Sunday night. I don't know yet. But I mean, regardless, I mean, that guy, no matter how many times you hit him, he just keeps getting up. He's literally Freddy Krueger, and that's who they are. Like, they just are a resilient group. T.Y. Hilton makes a difference. He's a true number one. He can get behind any defense. He's a great route runner. He tracks the deep ball well. Pittman's a big guy, that uses his size, and he's very, very tough. There have always been a tight end based offense. You'll see a bunch of them out there. Mo Alley Cox. You'll see a bunch of tight ends out there. And Jonathan Taylor can hit home runs. You miss a tackle on that guy in the open field, he's going to finish in the paint.
You were talking about the Colts, obviously, and I'm very intrigued to see DeForest Buckner, who was a great 49er when he was here. And I'm not going to ask it, is he better than Kinlaw? Is Armstead better than Buckner? What do they miss with DeForest Buckner not being on this team? Because you looked at every single snap of the 2019, and you saw this defense. What is the element that DeForest brought to the table that the Niners are currently missing?
Lined up every snap. Well, not every snap. He's lined up every game. I mean, he didn't miss games. So he was healthy. That means he was practicing all the time. That's something that Kinlaw has not been able to do. So he practiced, and then he lined up every Sunday. He's a very, very smart guy. He's from Hawaii. He's from a bad section of Hawaii. He busts 2 hours every day to go to a private school. He get up at 4:30 every morning to do it. He's a self-driven guy. He's very, very smart, and he's big. He's 6'7", so he gets his hands up. He's rangy. It's hard to get into his body. He's a perfect 3 technique. And if you put him next to Nick Bosa, you might have the best right side of the defensive line in all the NFL. The way that they ran stunts together, the way that, if one guy got the single block, he could beat it. And that's what DeForest is, and that's what they miss.
As a fan of football, are you disappointed that they decided to move off of DeForest Buckner? Because it sounds like you wanted to see him and Bosa paired together for a long time.
I liked what they had going on. It was a lot of fun to watch. And so, Kinlaw is still young, but he's got these, I don't know, he's got health issues, whatever. He just hasn't developed yet into any kind of a force that DeForest has been. I remember DeForest came out of Oregon, and he was in the same draft as Joey Bosa and Zeke Elliott, all these guys. And I just had Buckner in front of all those guys. I just thought, just his natural power and then his athletic ability, he was just a rare guy. And I thought guys that could push the pocket from the inside were more valuable than guys that could rush from the outside, just because quarterbacks couldn't step up and make throws. And I still stand by that.
Oh, man, you just made us miss Buckner that much
punch,
more.
Bro.
That's a gut punch, Baldy. Brian Baldinger here on 95.7 The Game. Trust me, when that trade went down, we're all stunned there because he was a Niner and he wanted to be here. He talked about that yesterday here. You talked about the run game getting back on track. What could Jimmy do to help elevate this offense? Because Jimmy has been up and down this season, and getting Brandon Ayuk involved, that's the guy everybody's talking about out here, Baldy. So what could Jimmy Garoppolo do to help Brandon Ayuk elevate his game?
Well, I think 2 things. I think, first of all, he's got to be more accurate. When the throws are there to be made, you have to make those throws. And he's had a lot of throws where he's just been off, whether it's high or behind the receiver. I mean, he's just got to have better accuracy with the ball.
Is it bad mechanics, Baldy? Is it the fundamentals? What's going on? Why is he inaccurate?
It's hard to say. I mean, it looks like he throws the ball the same way he's always thrown it. I always thought he had a good, quick release. He's just got to put the ball in the spot. Now, that's number one. And then number 2, to your point, this offense has got to get the ball to the wide receivers. And it's got to get the ball down the field. They need more chunk plays. And so, look, we have seen Trey come in and from preseason on, make some big throws down the field. They got big chunks, big touchdown, throw a couple weeks ago. But, the ball's got to get down the field. It's made, this league right now, you have to take your shots. Whether it's defensive pass interference or great plays one-on-one, you got to create one-on-one matchups, and you got to take your shots down the field. Whether that's 3 shots or 5 shots or 6 a game, you've got to carve them out and take them, because that's the way the game is played right now. You got to give Ayuk and Debo chances one-on-one down the field. You know, I don't care who it's against. You know, the Xavier Rhodes this week, whoever's out there, it doesn't matter. You got to take your chances, and it's not the highest percentage throw, but if you factor in defensive pass interference penalties, which you get a lot of them in this league, you just have to do that more frequently.
You know, Baldy, I'm golfing with my dad the other day, and he's an older guy, and he's on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, God, Dad. And he goes, yeah, did you see Brian Baldinger's tweets? I go, what are you talking about? He's like, the ones on Trey Lance. And he was looking at all the Trey Lance videos, and he loves the way you break down those videos because it teaches him things about football, and your enthusiasm just comes through the camera. It's so cool. But he goes, Did you guys talk to him before the Trey Lance injury news came? I said, no, Dad, but I'll ask him about that. You were highly critical of Shanahan and just the Niners in general of trying to support Trey Lance in that game against Arizona. Then the news comes out after we talked to you that he got hurt. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, look, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, and I would never put any blame on anybody for a player that does get hurt. I mean, it's a game of contact, and those things lead to injuries. But the way that they put him out there, I mean, that hit he took on the goal line.
Wow.
I mean, I don't, those things, it hurt me just watching it. It hurt me. Like, this is a 22-year-old kid. He didn't play last year. Like, why is he the focal point of the offense? Why is he running all these quarterback powers, and all the short yardage and goal line plays are all in his hands? And then the only touchdown they score, he turns around and flips it to Debo, and he runs behind Trent Williams for a touchdown. I'm going, where is that? Like, why aren't they just doing that? Why is he in, empty sets and running quarterback powers? And that, like I said, those hits, I don't care how big he's built. First of all, he's not Cam Newton. All right. But even if he was Cam Newton, look at where Cam's at right now, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. I was good friends with Mike Vick. Mike Vick was taking those hits. Like, he never survived. Nobody. Steve Young didn't survive. Like, nobody survives those hits. So try to limit the number of those, and don't put him in the position where he's taking those hits. And I said to myself when I was watching the game, and I'm watching this game plan unfold, I'm going, how long do you think this kid's going to survive? And I wasn't being prescient like I knew something was going to happen, but nobody survives that.
No, that collision against Isaiah Simmons, and I forget who the other linebacker was.
It was like he literally looked like a crash test dummy.
Yes.
One of those cars that just gets bounced around in the back seat.
They're lucky it wasn't worse.
Yeah,
they really are.
I believe that. I believe that too.
Yeah, he got beat up in that game, no doubt about it. And it looks like he's going to have to sit out this week against Indianapolis as the Niners return to the field after the bye week. They lost 3 straight games, took a bye. Now they take on the Colts, who are looking to make a run as well in the AFC South and keep pace with the Tennessee Titans. Baldy, we'll talk to you next Tuesday. We always enjoy your insight. Enjoy football this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Always. Talk to you soon.
So my dad, Baldy, just absolutely unbelievable.
So your dad's a believer now in Baldy, huh?
Well, my dad loves passion, right? And whatever you do in life,
his videos are better. It's the best.
It is.
It's the best.
Well, Ben, this is the part that frustrates me as a Niner fan. If you're on social media at any level, there's so many people putting out content, and there's a lot of really good content out there with the 49ers, with sports in general right now, because anybody can record anything. And the thing that I love about Baldy is that he obviously understands what it's like being a player out on the field. That's number one. Number two, it's not that he's just watching videos from just the 49ers. He's watching the entire league. And he has seen so many years and years and years of football, both as a player and as someone studying the game, that when he says something, it carries a lot of weight for me. When I asked him about DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead, he skirted around it, but in Baldy's very professional way, he basically said that's a regret that the 49ers have. And the data dorks out there want to tell me that Eric Armstead is better than DeForest Buckner.
It's not about the data dorks or whatnot. It's not about that. It's just about keeping this bunch together. When you think about great defenses, right, the Dome Patrol, with Pat Swilling, with Sam Mills, with Ricky Jackson, Von Dunbar, the Saints did everything they could to keep those linebackers together. You think of Philadelphia with Clyde Simmons, Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Seth Joyner, keeping those guys around
Gilbert
together.
Brown and Reggie White together at Green Bay.
Baltimore
Sean
keeping their defensive line together. all these great teams, they keep their D lines together and let them hunt the New York Giants, who won 2 Super Bowls with Strahan and JPP, OCU Manure, Justin Tuck.
Yeah.
You keep those guys together.
Was such a great D-line.
It was a great defensive line.
That D-line was so
vicious.
Sick.
Vicious. The Buccaneers with Sapp and company and Simeon Rice and Booker McFarland. You keep these guys together, and it felt like you made a move you didn't have to make. Because one thing we haven't touched on is Buckner had another year left on the deal.
Well, that's what, and you had the franchise tag in your back pocket.
So let him play out the deal.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to pay you. Franchise tag.
Doesn't it have
that's that's the craziest thing. You traded him a year early. It's like, wait a minute. I thought you guys were on a revenge tour. Run it back.
Doesn't it have a very Run TMC feel to it? Where it's
That's
like we were robbed of the truly great years. Like we had a little taste, and you could see there was something special there, and it just.
That's a good call.
Do you get where I'm going?
That's a good call.
Trading away Mitch Richmond.
Well, you know what it is? It's Jason Richardson.
That too.
We believe you go to the playoffs and get a little cup of coffee, and because at least Run TMC, the Warriors said, we had a couple years, we saw in the playoffs, we got to get bigger.
Yeah.
Billy O was supposed to be really, really good. Yeah, it didn't work out. You end up getting Weber, you make the playoffs anyway. But Jay Rich, you trade for Brandon Wright because you're thinking about salary cap.
Yeah.
You're thinking about money. Mitch Richmond was just like, the fit, we're not going to be able to go deep.
But the similar vibes, right?
There is similar vibes, no doubt. No doubt. Man.
I just
888-957-9570. That one hurt. And then offensively, Jimmy Garoppolo's back this week. He is back. Let's hear.
Are people excited for that? You think?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, here's what Shanahan had to say about Jimmy. I am excited.
Are you?
I am excited.
Okay.
It's 49er football.
They need a win. B, that's the thing that I feel so low today, but you're so right about this. If they win, they're right back in the mix. They're 3-3. They're back in the mix. What'd Shanahan say?
I mean, it'll be good to go out there and go full go today. I know he's limited because we got to make sure he can do everything, but we'll have a much better idea today, but I'm pretty optimistic about it.
That was on Jimmy. Here's what he had to say about Trey Lance.
Well, same diagnosis. I mean, we're hoping he could go this week. It doesn't look like it. He might have a chance at the end of the week, but I'd be surprised if he's not ready to go till next week.
You know, they, just for a second here, I know people are like, injuries happen and this and that. If there was no Giants playoffs going on and there wasn't Warriors opening the year,
we'd be crushing the Niners.
The entire week last week would have been, people would have been losing their minds.
And you know what? And I want to say this.
Quarterback 16 times more than any other player in the league at quarterback, and he got hurt.
I'm trying to be positive about the 49ers.
I know. I'm just throwing that out.
Listen, I've been crushing Shanahan all season long, and Shanahan has been getting crushed.
No.
He's been getting, it's been a snowball effect.
Yes.
I did not think, I thought I was in the minority. Now I'm seeing everybody just saying this guy should be traded for draft picks. He should be fired.
I still like
He's not a good guy. I still like Shanahan too.
Do.
But man, you look at all the mess starting from year one, and I'm just sitting here thinking it starts in 2017 where you read the room a little bit and you're like, man, I just one thing I did not do was call him the next Bill Walsh. Because we got to let this thing play out. That's ridiculous.
But doesn't this happen like in terms of Mahomes and Alex Smith I call that the unicorn situation. It does not exist. You don't just go, hey, we made the playoffs. Let's hand it over to a superstar generational quarterback, right? Very rarely does that happen. Don't most, hey, we drafted this guy, he's waiting in the wings. Aren't they mostly clunky? Isn't the transition phase clunky?
Always.
That was the thing that I was kind of like assessing before the season. So I'm like, man, I know everyone goes Mahomes, Alex. That's so rare and difficult to do. Most situations are a lot clunkier than that when you're changing power.
No doubt. I mean, Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco. It was like it was brewing, and I was like, you know what? We just got to make the move now.
Yeah.
We got to make the move now. And it felt like that with Trey, but not with that playbook. That playbook was just like, it was something out of Air Force. You know what I'm saying?
It reminded me of that Georgia Tech offense when they had Calvin Johnson.
Right, yeah.
And you're like, why are you running the T?
Right. Why are you running option football here? Option football. 888-957-9570. Let's hear what Shanahan had to say about Brandon Ayuk.
I think we went to him a ton especially when we were missing Kittle and Debo. So I know when we have those guys, it takes a little bit away from them. But you always try to give it to the guys who you think you have the best look and you think you can do the best with it. And Brandon's one of those options.
Well, so why do we have to wait until Kittle and Debo's out? Why can't he ball out with these other two guys? I see the Cowboys using all their weapons.
Moore.
Tampa Bay's using all their weapons. Here's what Nick Bosa.
Debo needs to have a big game.
No, there's no
I know
doubt.
it's going to be wet and rainy because you have a lack of playmakers.
Yeah.
Find a way to get Debo the ball.
Well, I need Ayuk to get involved too. It can't just be Debo.
But
Here's
Debo
what
needs to touch it.
Nick Bosa on DRK. Here's what he had to say about Brandon Ayuk.
Bosa.
As an offense, we take what the defense gives us, and to this point, Debo's been a big player for us, and I'm sure Brandon's going to come alive here. There's a lot of games left. We've only played 5, so I think, his rookie year was unbelievable, so obviously he has it. We see it in practice every day. I think it's just a matter of time for him.
And Brandon Ayuk played 46 snaps against the Cardinals. Sanu play 30, and yet they had the same amount of targets.
Yeah, I don't.
I just
when I
don't
hear
get it
Bosa
here.
talk, though, B, don't you get like a Clark Kent Hulk thing going on where like he's mild mannered? Oh well, I don't even really know. I'm kind of low energy. And then the second the game starts, this dude turns into someone completely different.
I don't get Clark Kent. I get a dude who's stoned. Like he's just chilling.
Stoned?
Like
I don't get stoned. I get more nerd. Like,
no, he sounds like he's just high. He's chilling. He's chill. California chill, surfing. California surf. He's just like, life is good. I'm chilling.
Whose voice doesn't match the body more, Barry Bonds or Nick Bosa?
Nick Bosa.
You think?
Yeah.
How's it going, my guy?
It's Nick Bosa. It is Nick Bosa.
Or is it Patrick Mahomes in the frog voice?
It's Nick Bosa.
You still think it's Bosa?
Nick Bosa.
I put Darren Ruff's name in that category, too. His voice took me by surprise when I first heard it, seeing how big in stature he is.
You see who's standing behind
I do.
Stephen Langford?
I texted you guys last night, and I got a phone call yesterday. We were talking long and long.
I know. This guy was texting me about it, too, and I just stiffed him.
About
at one
Lumpia,
point.
okay?
I just stopped texting him.
We were talking about Lumpia yesterday, and all of a sudden, the Golden State Warriors, because, they love your boy over here. Not you. They love me. I get a phone call from a number I didn't recognize. And I said to myself,
was it 831?
Who is this? I answered, and they go, hey, you were talking about Lumpia yesterday. This is James Kincaid. Yes, the fearless man behind every single broadcast that comes out of the Golden State Warriors facility. I am going to come bring you guys Lumpia from the Chase Center today.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that. Now,
Let's
I
go.
stiffed Jimbo because he was asking me about Lumpia, and I'm like, dude, it's 10 in the morning. I just woke up at 4. I'm not about to have a conversation about Lumpias at 10 in the morning, Jimbo, even though
This is
did
where
it on
your ego, bro.
Yeah, I mean, no.
3 years
I'm
ago,
wrong
you would have
all the
taken
time.
free as me, give me 3, and now you're on television.
Well, no.
You can't respond back to people.
I tell you what it is. It's babies. It's baby Chaz.
Okay, Pinocchio.
It's got my mind. I'm running to the house. Things are going on. Things are happening. I can't keep up.
You know how Lumpia is. They just brought a bunch of Lumpia from the Golden State Warriors. I'm going to read off the whole thing. We're going to get on the YouTube.
Dude.
I'm going to show you the Lumpia in a second.
Hey, this
Go
Lumpia
on
is
Twitch.
good. We had it a month ago at
You
Chase.
can get it at Chase Center right now. But here's the thing. I know by the time we get out, to the break room, all the Lumpia's going to be gone because all of the heathens over here at 95.7 The Game.
There are a lot of heathens.
They're going to be all over it. You know how many fingers are going to be on that
Tell
Lumpia?
Dan Dibley, Mark Willard, and them, they have a show. This is for us, all right? This is for us. We get first dibs. No pun intended. No pun intended. Look, Lupias are happening. Jimbo, it's good to see him. Love James Kincaid.
And we got Bob Myers joining the show in 40 minutes.
40 minutes. 45 to be exact. 45 minutes to be exact. Jimbo looking sharp in the soup. I need to borrow that bad boy for NBC Sports Bay Area. Warriors and Clippers. We're getting into it right here on the Morning Roast. We got a lot of thoughts. And you see LaMelo Ball's outfit last night?
I did. The Riddler.
Dude, he's got some serious swagger. That guy is a stud. Hey, you got to have confidence to pull off that.
His outfit was a little less aggressive than yours this morning, Captain Picard.
No, don't take Langford's joke. Come original.
It was better delivered than mine was. I'm still seething over that.
No, yours was delivered. I just didn't want to say anything because it hurt my feelings. By the way, the Rocket Mortgage Pro Football Pick'em. Don't forget about it. You got Browns tonight. Browns tonight. Who do I pick? Case Keenum or Teddy Bridgewater? This is thank the heavens Warriors are playing the Clippers. We don't have to be subjected to this damn game. There's $1,000 up for grabs every single week.
Yeah.
A G. You can win up to $10,000 on the season with the Rocket Mortgage Pro Football Pick'em. Sign up today by texting PICKS to 20357 and just pick the winner of each week's games. No point spreads, no lineups, and totally free to enter. 888-957-9570. Warrior fans, how excited are you about the home opener? Tickets, limited tickets available at Warriors.com. Clippers Warriors home opener. We'll get to that before we get to Bob Myers at 8:40 here on The Roast.
Hi, Bob. Bob.
Dev Nation, welcome back.
Cool 25-footer!
The Bays team is back.
Power your phone communications too. Zoom Phone works seamlessly within the Zoom app as your business phone system. Zoom Phone's secure HD audio and enterprise-grade reliability keep you connected to your teams and your customers. And it's easy to use on mobile, desktop, or desk phone. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Zoom. How the world connects.
No one thinks about their old hot water heater until they run out of hot water.
Oh, no.
Or until it starts leaking.
Oh, no.
If your tank water heater is over 8 years old, a leak could cost you a lot more than higher energy bills. Consider upgrading to a Navien tankless water heater. No tank to heat or leak. And endless hot water for spa-like comfort. All backed by Navien's strong warranty. Navien turns...
Oh, no.
...into...
Oh, yes.
Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet. The faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Bay Area! It's Joe Shasky from the Morning Roast. You're listening to KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station.
It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. Presented by Timeless Coffee. This is the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby, welcome back to the Roast. Here on a Thursday morning, home opener coming up at 7 p.m. Tip off at 7 p.m. The home opener for the Golden State Warriors. It will be full capacity tonight at Chase Center for the first time since March 10th of 2020 when they took on the LA Clippers. And the Clippers come in a little beat up here. No Kawhi. No Nicholas Batum. Serge Ibaka's not going to play. A lot of injuries. No more Pat Beverly on the LA Clippers. Who are these Clippers? We'll find out a little later tonight. 888-957-9570. Get in before Bob Myers does at 8:40 here on the Morning Roast, the president of basketball operations and GM of the Golden State Warriors. We were talking Niners here.
Look at these.
Look at these shirts.
Go on YouTube right now. Open it up. Hit subscribe, 95.7 The Game. It takes 2 seconds. Open it up. Search 95.7 The Game. You can see these sweet T-shirts that they're going to be giving out. Bonte and I were hand-delivered individual home opener T-shirts that they're giving out today at Chase Center. Still tickets available. All right. And they
Warriors.com.
are sweet. It's like a navy blue with this artist rendering. And to me, it looks like Al Attles, Wilt Chamberlain, Rick Barry, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green with the word home opener on it and the 75th anniversary logo. Both the Niners and Warriors celebrating 75 years this year.
And the Warriors 60 years in the Bay Area.
Absolutely unbelievable. This shirt is sweet, and we got hand-delivered them.
Our boy Jimbo Kincaid. Yeah, you liked. Hey, see what you roll with me, man. You get the free stuff, man.
I'm starting to see that. It's a good thing I called him back.
I know. I just totally stiff Jimbo. I admit to text him, man. I was running around.
Sure, Gary.
And then, I'm a selfish human being. I can be selfish. But I'm not. But you know what? I'm glad Jimbo reached out. I'm glad he reached out to you because you're always on your phone.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I got to put my phone down. I got to take a nap. I got to go do this. I got to make a bottle. Got to change a diaper. Yeah. But, hey, Jimbo hooked us up, and he's hooking us up next break because the Syrup shop is coming through.
Yes.
And Syrup means delicious in Tagalog. Like, it's a local food brand owned. They're proudly Bay Area born and raised and probably the first-gen Filipino-American.
Let's go.
They're excited to bring Lumpia right here to 95.7 The Game. I cannot believe it. Their eatery is at Chase Center, located inside the United Club at the arena.
Ooh. The United Club.
Dude, we got Lumpia Company. We got Syrup Shop. Look, I can never get... Lumpia is... great, and I can't wait to just sink my teeth into it because you told me yesterday after Jimbo called you, don't eat breakfast. Be light on the breakfast.
Yes.
And so all I've had this morning is a cup of coffee and an orange, and I'm starving.
Yeah.
And I'm starving.
You looked at me like you were going to eat me.
Dude,
I'm starving.
Dude, I can't wait to dip that first lumpia into some sauce because we had some of the lumpia a month ago at Chase Center.
It was screaming. One of my cousins.
Screaming. What is this, 1990?
It's true. One of my cousins hit me up yesterday. He's like, who the hell hasn't had lumpia? I'm like, dude, you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. See, I grew up, my wife's Filipino, so I grew up in a household where lumpia is part of the tradition, my friend. You got to have rice in the cooker ready to roll, and you got to have your fresh lumpia. I got to also have my sweet chili sauce as well.
Ooh.
Dipped in sauce.
In sauce. I floss. Oh, man. Are you ready for tonight, Clip Crew?
Dude, look. The Warriors beat the Lakers Tuesday night. I was on that high up until about 8 p.m. and I started watching Blazers Kings, get a little scouting report on the Sacramento Kings because the Warriors are going to play them on Sunday.
What's the scouting report?
Kings are fun.
Oh.
Harrison Barnes was lighting it up.
Oh.
You're also looking at Portland
Look out for Harrison.
Hey, but I was also looking at Portland like, man, you guys are cooked.
Yeah.
You
know what
guys
they
are a 7 seed.
They're that turkey that you leave in the oven a little too long, and it's just not even that good anymore.
It's not that good. It's too dry.
Yeah.
It's too dry.
You've
Cooked
seen
too long.
Christmas Vacation, right?
Of course. Absolutely.
You know, when he goes to stick the knife into the turkey and it just deflates.
Absolutely.
That's Portland.
That is, they're awful.
You're
they're
a Griswold. I would imagine you around holiday time very much like Griswold.
Don't do me like that.
What? He's one of my favorite characters of all time, Chevy Chase.
I know. Don't do me like that. Chevy was all the control in that movie, man.
He was great.
I loved Chevy.
I'd rather be Chevy than the cousin or the brother or whatever.
The brother was all
nuts.
Yeah,
Cousin Eddie.
Cousin Eddie. That's who it was. I was
Cousin
trying to
Eddie
think of
was
his name.
cold-blooded, man.
No,
We all
Eddie.
had that cousin, too.
Yeah, with his giant Rottweiler dog.
Right, yeah, we all had that cousin.
Oh, my goodness.
Chevy, I got to go back and watch those movies,
And if
man.
you don't have that cousin, you are that cousin.
Right. Hey, I miss Chevy Chase, man. I got to go back. He was the best.
Him
dude.
and Caddyshack's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Caddyshack is unbelievable. Caddyshack 2, not so good.
No. He's not even in it.
Yeah, Caddyshack 2 was
just horrible.
A joke. Clippers, Warriors.
No. Oh, no.
Who is that?
That was Eric in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
I think that's when we were talking about Mac Jones at the time.
Oh, wow.
Mac Jones looked pretty good against the Cowboys.
Just stop it.
Anyway, Clippers, Warriors. Sorry to sidetrack.
Yeah. No, hey, Langford. Mac Jones looked pretty good against the
You
Cowboys.
can't have both opinions simultaneously. You can't be the biggest Trey fan in the world and say that was a grand slam, and then sit there and covet Mac Jones from afar.
No. I'm just saying, Mac Jones, if they would have drafted him, he ain't that bad.
No, okay, he's not that bad.
What's the film drop, Langford? The film don't lie.
Yeah, is he going to be better than Kyler? Is he going to be better than Russ? He'll never be better than Josh Allen.
Okay,
Ever.
but he's going to win big games.
They're 2-4.
Okay, so what? If we can't use Jimmy Garoppolo's record to help him out and support his argument, then we can't use the record from Mac Jones as a rookie.
Wins is not a quarterback stat.
They just lost to Brady at the end of the buzzer. Lost to the Cowboys in overtime. They could easily be 4-2.
Oh, they could easily.
Easily be 4-2.
But they're not. I can easily be president of the United States.
They lost to the Dolphins by 1. It could be 5-1 in New England.
Oh, come on.
Mac Jones ain't that bad. Back to Warriors and Clippers.
If you do watch the film, don't knock us for watching film, Chesky.
Give me it one more time. Time out. We were arguing about Mac Jones, and this is when we were ready to strangle each other. And again, you were holding two simultaneously contradicting opinions
not like me that
at
week.
one time.
If you do watch the film, don't knock us for watching film, Chesky.
You were so right. Hey, it was World War III on the roads. It was World War III. You got so mad. One more time later.
If you do watch the film, don't knock us for watching film, Chesky.
Warriors Clippers tonight. Warriors Clippers tonight. Steph Curry and the boys. Jordan Poole says he should be ready to go. I'm crying because that week, if we revisit that week, draft
I was losing my mind.
Oh, night of it was Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody gave up. Said, Bonte, they really drafted Mac Jones. And for about 5 days, I said, there's no way they're taking Mac Jones. There's no way.
Hey, speaking of Mac Jones, while we're here, and we're going to get right back into the Warriors.
Clippers
the Boston's
tonight.
were disorganized,
Yes.
but I have to go here. Did you see the Riddler make an appearance last night?
No.
Speaking of draft regrets, there are a certain segment of Warrior fans who believe that LaMelo is the greatest thing that ever happened to the Charlotte Hornets, and that might be the case. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he ends up becoming. He's a great player for them. It works for them, but people are regretting that we didn't take LaMelo Ball, and I get it. I saw the outfit LaMelo Ball was wearing in the postgame yesterday.
Oh my God.
It was like a lime green, like full Riddler coat.
Matching his Lamborghini. What was that, a Lamborghini?
I couldn't tell if he was from American Pimp or if he was like a new villain in one of the Marvel movies. And then did you hear what he said on his way?
Never lost.
Yeah, did you hear what he said on his way out of the room talking to reporters?
No.
All right, then y'all be good, my brother. And it was like he walked off the stage. I was dying.
I'm not gonna lie.
You are a hater.
I'm a Melo fan. I'm a LaMelo Ball
I am
fan.
too. I am too. But it works for them.
It works for them.
Yeah.
I wanted Wiseman. I still
do
want
too.
Wiseman. I think Wiseman's going to be really, really good. But this guy
is out of his mind.
Special, and he's out of his mind.
He's also already bigger than Charlotte. So mark my words, Zion and LaMelo are leaving their current
going to
teams.
New York City or LA or something. Dude,
Rand went up 12%.
LaMelo had the best tweet of the summer when Sha'Carri Richardson got banned from the Olympics for having marijuana in her system.
Yeah.
He goes, if it ain't crack, let her run track.
Oh, that is a good one.
And I was just like, this guy LaMelo's just on a different planet right now.
I'm going to tell you right now, the young kids that are big into basketball, LaMelo is one of the most influential young players in the league right now in terms of the things that he does on the court. Young people gravitate towards.
Yep, no doubt.
LaMelo is very influential to young ball handlers out there in between the ages of about 11 and 18.
Yep. Can Jordan Poole be one of those young ballers that gravitates young guys? Because Jordan Poole now has a nice little, he's got some swag to his game. He can handle the rock. He can shoot it. He's getting to the rack, and he's become a fan favorite out here in the Bay Area. Jordan Poole obviously had the ankle injury late in the game against the LA Lakers, didn't play in the last 6 minutes of change. Hopefully he's cool to go, and he's all right to go against this Clippers team that is banged up. But can Jordan Poole be that guy? Because he's got some swag to his game, too. Maybe not like LaMelo Ball.
No.
He's not the passer. Probably not the shooter yet.
Yeah.
Probably can't, but he could go to the cup.
Well, and I also think playing alongside Steph on this Warrior team, he's going to be a guy that's going to gain a ton of traction. This is a very popular team around the league. There's a segment of people that are going to hate watch the Warriors because they don't like them. And then there's a segment of people like LaMelo Ball who just love Steph Curry, right? They just absolutely love Steph Curry. And anything he does, there's rub off to that. And I think Jordan Poole will be very interesting. His look, forget the way he plays, because that's unique. Isn't his look slightly unique?
Yeah,
He's
no
got
doubt.
a very unique look. He wears the leggings, the shorts are up really, really high.
Yep.
You know, the facial hair is very groomed to perfection.
He got rid of the facial hair, though. He got rid of the facial hair.
No, I thought he had the
not the
mustache.
facial hair, excuse me, the hair.
Oh, yeah, the
he
hair.
had the long
Yeah.
hair, the midi fro, I guess. I don't even know what they call it now.
Well, it was the guy
hawk?
from Michael B. Jordan had that hair too at one point. What is that look that Michael B. Jordan had
in Black Panther?
Yeah, because that
with
was
the
a
one
sweet look.
dread.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet
He got
look.
a couple dreads on the side. Yeah.
Also, underrated villain in that movie.
Oh, he
is
Killmonger.
really. I really like him as an actor.
Killmonger. This your king?
Yeah, he was
pretty
so good in that. But anyway, the point being is that Jordan Poole, he's got a very unique look.
We are off the rails right now.
We are, because I'm
As the
really excited
Clippers-
about
you
the
know who
Warriors
else?
right now.
No, and you know, the Clippers are off the rails right now. No Nicholas Batum. They've already, they're without Ibaka. They're without Kawhi. They're without Keon Johnson. So they're going to start, I believe, Eric Bledsoe and Reggie Jackson in the backcourt.
Reggie Jackson, if you were to play 2K and create a My Player, right?
That's Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, because he has every accessory on simultaneously.
The goggles, the headband, he had the twisties,
the
he had
arm
the mouthpiece,
things.
the arm sleeves,
Yeah, with the
he had
little
tights,
elbow pads.
the tight leggings.
Yep.
He had the wristbands.
Yes.
Then he had
With the rubber band.
With the rubber band.
Yes.
I mean, he was all over the place. But that guy
And
had
a mouthpiece.
And a mouthpiece hanging out of his mouth.
Yes.
He had like two mouthpieces. It looked like Invisalign.
Top
Looked like
and
he was wearing
bottom.
Invisalign while playing hoops.
Hey, I need some Invisalign. People have been bashing me because
You know
I guess
what?
I do these selfies, and they're like, dude,
You know
your
what?
teeth are all jacked up.
I'm close to getting some Invisalign. You know, I'm on TV. Look, this is why we're radio. I didn't ask NBC to hire me.
Your boy I had braces for a minute on it, and I kept breaking them.
Yeah.
Is this your king?
Yeah.
Sister King, Reggie Jackson, Eric Bledsoe, Paul George will be in the building, Marcus Morris Sr., and Zubac. And this is where it could be a challenge for the Warriors down low going against a guy like Zubac.
Yeah.
Because DeAndre Jordan, let's face it, he's cooked. Zubac will be on that pick and roll, and he goes to the cup,
like
and he
Zubac.
finishes. Yeah, this will be a tough challenge.
Yeah, I think that was the one trade the Lakers wish they could have back from a couple of years back. I didn't make sense getting rid of him. I really like him as a player. Paul George was outstanding when Kawhi went down last year, and that team did as well. I always question when a team loses a player at the end of the year and they go on a little run. It's one thing to do it in a series and then carry it over to another series. It's another to withstand the loss of a Kawhi Leonard throughout the totality of a season.
Right.
I'm very interested to see what version of the Clippers you see this year, because to think that Reggie Jackson can replicate what he did over the course of the whole year, that's tough. Not that he's not.
Tough.
I like him. I do. I like him in a vacuum, and he earned the money he got.
He won you over. Yeah, he won you over last year in the playoffs.
He really did. But I also think he adjusted his style of play.
Yep.
You know,
doubt.
and I liked what I saw from him. And Paul George, you know, he was outstanding in those playoffs. I just question, can you do it on a nightly basis when teams are game planning night to night to slow you down?
Clippers were 11-9 without Kawhi Leonard last season, but he got hurt in that Game 4 when they tied the series against Utah, the second round of the Western Conference playoffs. Clippers out of nowhere go to Game 5 against Utah. Remember, they were getting blown out early. It was like, damn, their season's done. They come all the way back. They seal that Game 5. And then Game 6 was just one of the most bizarre, entertaining, thrilling playoff games we've ever seen in the NBA history.
No doubt.
They were down like 20, 25. Remember, Jordan Clarkson went crazy in the first half for the Utah Jazz against the Clippers. Clippers come all the way back. Terrence Mann, Reggie Jackson, Paul George. They just started bombing threes, and they exposed Rudy Gobert by just going 5 out on the three-point line. And the Clippers go to the Western Conference Finals where they succumb to the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. It happens. You're not going to get past Phoenix and obviously Milwaukee without Kawhi Leonard, but I thought they were really impressive. And, you know, yesterday I was like, the Warriors going to smack the Clippers without Kawhi. But I'm looking at the roster saying, you know what? Terrence Mann can play.
Yeah, he can.
Reggie Jackson could play. Luke Kennard now is going to have the ball in his hands. He doesn't play a lot, but the guy has some skill. He does have some skill. I'm interested to see what Justice Winslow brings to the West Coast. It's not going to be an easy game for the Warriors. This will be a nice test for them here in their home opener.
Yeah, it will, and I'm excited to see the team in front of their full capacity home crowd.
Shay's going to be rocking tonight, huh?
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and I think that they're going to put on a show. You know, can Wiggins get his legs underneath him for the whole game today?
Is that who you have defend Paul George tonight?
Absolutely. I think he's the guy that starts there. I think you throw a mixture of people at him. I think Iguodala is going to get a chance.
That's a good call.
I think JTA is going to get a chance. I think you throw a mixture, and that's one of the beauties of this year's team. I think Damian Lee will get an opportunity for a couple possessions to stay in front of him. Obviously, Wiggins will have his chances. I think Draymond Green might even have a run at him for 1 or 2 possessions. That was the beauty of the team with Clay and Durant and Iggy before, is they could throw 4 or 5 different guys. Sean Livingston would take a turn on somebody, and it just gives you a different look and a different body type. That's what I really like about this year's team. The guy I want to see tonight for a little bit longer than what we saw in the first game, and I know why they didn't. I want to see Moses Moody. I really want to see Moses Moody get an extra minute or 2. And we're talking about 6 minutes. I mean, we're not talking about 40 or 20. I'm saying like 6. All right? But let's just see the kid go out there for an extended period.
You know what's going to be weird tonight in that game today is not seeing Pat Bev on the Clippers.
Yeah.
Defending Steph Curry.
I think he was great for the rivalry.
We talked about villains.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook. Pat Bev was a villain, and he would work that crowd.
No doubt.
He would work Chase Center. He works in the arena. And now he's on the Memphis Grizzlies. And look, Memphis is a quietly sneaky team in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Got my eye on them.
Yeah.
From afar. I got the binoculars out on Memphis
You
Grizzlies.
watching the film?
I'm watching the film. John Morant, he's got the new dude.
Yeah.
He was looking good
Dylan the
last
Hack
night.
Brooks.
Dude, yeah, no, I had the binoculars on the Memphis Grizzlies last night while I was switching over to Portland and Sacramento. Pat Bev not defending Steph Curry because, let's face it, he's an agitator.
Yeah.
If they don't have that agitator, the Clippers that is, and you're probably not going to expand Paul George to have, hey, go get number 30, Steph Curry, to use all your energy as your primary ball handler. This is a night where Curry could get cooking early and often and have that crowd really revved up, and it just kind of snowballs for the L.A. Clippers tonight.
There's no doubt, and I think one of the hidden things from that first game with the Lakers, Wiggins goes out quickly with 2 fouls, and Draymond got 2 quick fouls in that game. I think that messed up the offensive flow early on for Steph Curry. I'd like to see him get going early and put a couple in the air, because I think once you put him through the rim at Chase, I think the crowd's going to be rocking tonight.
Yes, I know.
That's the one thing from all those baseball games. I've been to some Niner games. Crowds have been great. The Bay Area crowds have been absolutely great. And that's one thing, as a diehard Bay Area sports fan, you and I know this, we can be fickle. But I think the 2-year absence of being away from stadiums, when people go to the games, they're ready to have fun.
March 10th, 2020 was the last time Chase Center was at full capacity for a Warriors game. They got it rocking in the playoffs, but it wasn't full capacity.
Yeah.
preseason was at about 60%, and you could hear that buzz when Steph Curry dropped 41 on the Portland Trail Blazers in the final preseason game of the season. Terrence Mann, here from the 510, will be out Curry. He's a decent defender. Terrence Mann is a guy who lit up the Jazz in that elimination game, Game 6 at Staples, when he dropped 39 in that basketball game and hit 7 threes. He's a good player, and it was a really good find by Jerry West. We'll see Steve Ballmer courtside for the L.A. Clippers going crazy. The owner of the L.A. Clippers. Get Steph Curry involved. That's a good call on the foul trouble where it doesn't break up the cohesion on offense. Right. And then a lot of people are wondering about Kevon Looney. Well, this is where Kevon Looney comes into play. A lot of people say, man, you got to start Bielitsa. No. Keep Bielitsa in his role. Looney against guys like Zubac, Embiid, big guys who like to just plant themselves in the paint. Looney does well defensively against those type of dudes.
You know what Looney is? If this were a drink, if this were lemonade, let's just use lemonade as an example. There's sugar, there's the lemonade, whatever packet that you're mixing it in. There's the water, there's the cup. He's the ice. No one ever talks about the ice, but the ice is mandatory. You got to have a little bit of ice in your drink. And I know the things that he does don't pop off the screen, but they're subtle. And you absolutely have to have those kind of glue guys on the team at times. Not everyone can be a starring role. You're not going to be, I am going to be, Romeo. I'm going to be Juliet. Well, somebody's got to be a stagehand. Someone's got to have that mic grip over the actors that are on the stage so that we can get this thing broadcasted to the entire audience. Looney does all of the little things behind the scenes that don't show up. It's the spacing. It's the little handoffs to set a little slip screen to open it up for Steph Curry or open it up for someone else. Look, I'm over ripping Kevon Looney. He works with this team, especially when you have a bunch of other willing passers. The question I have for tonight, can Bielitsa have an encore performance?
Wow. Bia.
Is he a fan favorite?
Wait. We can't even bring up Bielitsa right now. Langford, my man, he's pulling a John Curley. My guy went in on the Lumpia before everybody.
Look at him.
He's
got it all over his mustache.
The syrup shop. He's already going shopping at the syrup shop. What are you doing, Langford?
You put lumpia in front of me, I'm going to eat it. And shout out to the syrup shop. I highly recommend you guys try the Impossible version of it, which is delicious, and they got 2 other flavors.
All right, what are we doing?
The sweet chili sauce is fantastic.
Bring the lumpia into the studio right now. Get on YouTube.
We need to see this. We need to show our folks,
right now.
Show our roasters what the lumpia looks like.
Bring me lumpia, Curly.
What are you
Come
doing,
on, bud.
Curly? No, Curly's busy eating too.
Is he?
He's eating too.
What the
Everybody's
heck?
eating around here. Nobody's doing anything. We're out here breaking down Warriors Clippers, and our guys just quit on us to go eat food. I can't even wait till the break. Usually I hear about, hey, Bonte, don't forget about the read. Mention Timeless Coffee, Bonte. Yeah. Mention Timeless. Hey, Bonte, don't forget about Rocket Mortgage. It always happens around the same. Hey, Bonte, get ready to break.
Oh, my God.
Get that bad boy in the camera. Get that bad boy in the camera.
Come here.
Syrup shop right inside the Chase Center.
Don't spill it
inside the United Club at the arena. At the arena.
There we go.
Inside the United Club at Chase Center, the syrup shop. Look at that bad boay.
Hey, Bonte, you know what? I used to have different co-hosts. I'm like, you don't eat on air.
Look at this.
Don't
my God.
eat while you're... I'm going to do it right now. Here we go. Ready?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. That sounds so good. Oh, look at the sweet chili. Oh, what is this sauce right here,
Oh, my
Jimbo?
God, Bonte.
What's this sauce?
This is
That's
the
soy
Impossible?
garlic.
This
That's
is
soy
the Impossible
garlic.
Lumpia?
That's soy garlic.
Is that what this is, James?
No, you got the pork, the Impossible.
Oh, I got the pork.
Oh, you got pork. I got Impossible.
Yeah, I'm going in on book. Wow.
Yeah, I usually don't eat pork.
Where is it? The
United Club in the arena.
Hey.
I usually don't go pork, but these Lumpias, I'm going pork. I'm all about the pork.
You know what?
When it comes to
One
Lumpia.
thing that I think it's underrated about the two of us, we're a sports show. We're also a hip-hop music show.
Yeah,
and we're also a food show.
Yeah, we love food.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like the 510 said many months ago, Bonte, you love food, and food loves you back.
I mean,
he ain't lying. The Syrup Shop is a local food brand.
Is screaming.
Dude, they're proudly from the Bay Area.
Wow.
They're born and raised in the Bay Area. Proudly first-gen Filipino-Americans.
Yeah.
We got to get them in the studio real quick to just talk. We got a break. Do I even have any reads, Curly?
No.
Is there a read?
No, you have
reads?
an entire plate of lumpia in front of you.
All right.
Eat
I got
it, bruh.
Lumpia. If you're looking for all the best Warriors content from 95.7 The Game, text Warriors to 20357. That's Warriors to 20357. Make sure to hit the subscribe button in the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcast. What's coming up on the game brought to you by Comcast West?
Wow. I'll tell you what's coming up. Bob Myers, and I'm going to ask him, how does he stay so skinny with the syrup shop staring him in the face every single day that he goes into the office?
This is good. Waiting for hit the buttons. Do something, man. We got to eat.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Sounds like crazy fast speeds, reliable in-home Wi-Fi coverage, and protection for your connected devices. Can your internet do that?
Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to switch today. Restrictions apply.
Tonight, it's the Warriors home opener, and Damon Bruce and Nick Friedel are live from Chase Center.
Curry gets free for three. Got it! Curry with a three ball off a great pick by Draymond.
That was about as clean a look as he's had all night.
Hear Damon Bruce and Nick Friedel live from Chase Center, starting at 3. And pregame coverage starts at 5:30, right here on 95.7 The Game.
Phones, laptops, and tablets aren't just devices. They're the keys to connecting to your health. At Kaiser Permanente, you can connect faster with video visits and our easy-to-use app. Track your health with access to most lab results and health records. You can even make appointments, email doctors, and fill most prescriptions. Kaiser Permanente. Tomorrow's healthcare today. Learn more at kp.org/thrive.
Appointments as available and appropriate. Features available from Kaiser Permanente facilities.
Are you shackled with IRS debt? Do you have unfiled tax returns? Call 209-IRS-HELP. Are you the target of an IRS audit? Has the government levied your bank account? Larry Stevens is here now to help you. Call 209-IRS-HELP. Hire your honest local expert. Call 209-IRS-HELP. Get IRS help from Larry Stevens and Perfect Tax Resolution. Call 209-IRS-HELP. You'll be glad you did. That's 209-IRS-HELP. Call Larry Stevens and Perfect Tax Resolution at 209-IRS-HELP.
In the time before AT&T Fiber Internet.
What? What are you doing in me dungeon?
It's the only place where the bloody Wi-Fi works.
Oh, and you don't mind the spiders?
Spiders? What spiders? Oh no, they're everywhere! Oh!
In the time after AT&T Fiber Internet.
It's nice having fast, reliable Wi-Fi in the whole house. For sure.
The dawn of a better internet era with AT&T Fiber.
Limited availability in select areas. Check eligibility at att.com/getfiber. AT&T Smart Wi-Fi extenders may be required. Sold separately. Restrictions apply.
Why do we find popping bubble wrap so satisfying? Why do we say boop when we touch somebody's nose? Boop? Why do we turn anything and everything into drums?
Honey, I need those pots to start dinner.
Why do we sing in the shower?
I'm taking a shower.
And outside the shower.
This conference call is boring.
Rick, you are not on mute.
Why? For the same reason we play scratchers from the California Lottery. Because a little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Your life, your hopes, your passions. These things are none of our business. Your baby monitor research. If you're using too much diaper cream, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Aw, how old are they? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
With bacon strips and bacon crumbles cooked into a freshly cracked fried egg, my 2 for $6 double bacon breakfast sandwiches have all the bacon you can imagine.
I'm imagining so much bacon, Jack.
Imagine more, Oscar. Only at Jack in the Box. Plus tax, limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
Hey, sports fans. Kate Scott here for my good friends at Xfinity, who don't want you to miss any of the action today, tomorrow, or ever, which is why they have all the sports entertainment that your heart and mind desires. Live games, of course. We both know that. But for me, it's all the other stuff that Xfinity has that is really putting it over the top right now. I'm trying to call college football and NBA basketball, as you all know, while traveling the country, which means, like a lot of you, I'm not spending much time in front of my actual TV. But thanks to Xfinity, I can watch everything I need whenever I need. On my phone, my tablet, my laptop, I can pause a game on one, resume it on another. Xfinity is so clutch and phenomenal right now, and I truly wouldn't be able to do my job without it. So if you want to watch sports like a professional, what are you waiting for? It is time to elevate your game day with Xfinity. It is a way better way to watch. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store near you. Restrictions apply.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Maureen saved big shopping epic daily deals at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. And with her brand new tableware, everyone's welcome at Maureen's table. All of her family, friends, even her neighbor with the pet. Hey, has anyone seen a ferret around here? Found it. Dig into Amazon's epic daily deals. Spend less, smile more.
Some people treat investing like a game, but Marcus by Goldman Sachs approaches investing in a smart way with digitally managed portfolios that leverage Goldman Sachs strategies. So, do you want to play games or do you want your money to work smart? You can money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs & Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season. The flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Tonight, a CNN exclusive. At a critical moment in his presidency, Joe Biden takes questions from the American people. Anderson Cooper moderates a CNN presidential town hall. Tonight at 8 Eastern on CNN.
I want to apologize to Twitch, all our roasters on Twitch.
Wow.
All our roasters on YouTube. I'm sorry. I might be checked out for the rest of the day. I got a plate of Lumpias, a tray of Lumpias
Oh my God.
staring me in the face. This Yayoli garlic sauce. Let me show it to people. Yayoli garlic sauce.
Oh my God.
Can you see it on YouTube, folks? Twitch? It's amazing.
So
it's amazing.
My wife is Filipino. I've said this many, many times over and over. And her aunties, they spend some time in the Philippines, some time here in San Francisco, and they go back and forth. Every time the aunties come over, they like to roll a bunch of.
They roll them homemade.
Lumpias.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh!
And then we freeze them, and then you deep fry them again later.
Get it together, Shasky. You gotta get the.
I'm telling you, bro.
Swallow
I
the
Lumpias.
Lumpias.
I must have had 15 of them, and I'm telling you right now, those Lumpia are hand rolled and they're off the chain. Off
the chain.
The chain.
Off the chain.
Sarap Shop, I had the Impossible Curry one. I had the pork one.
We had all of them.
And then I had the Impossible Party Pack one.
Yeah, the party time.
Bro.
Party time. I mean, look, it says she's far from basic. She's got a meaty Impossible Foods filling seasoned with our house secret 7K Island Spice Mix. Best enjoyed with sweet chili sauce. Real quick, before we bring a special guest in to explain what these Lumpias are all about. Tickets for all games are still available at Warriors.com, where season ticket holders and other fans resell tickets that are 100% guaranteed by the Warriors organization. Last week, the Warriors saw over 30 fans denied access to Chase Center for the team's preseason matchup against the Lakers due to fraudulent tickets purchased from non-verified third-party vendors. Go to Warriors.com, folks. Warriors.com. Limited tickets are available.
So here's the true test.
I mean, this is. It says Yayoli, folks. Yayoli garlic sauce. People are telling me how to say it. It says yay.
As in yay area.
Like yay area.
Yeah.
There you go.
Duh.
Boom.
Yay area.
There we go.
All right, so we have a special
so
guest in the
good.
studio right now.
Oh, my gosh.
And Bonte, you and him know each other from way, way back. He, I guess, apparently hit you up first, but you didn't answer because you're too big time. We got James Kincaid with us right now. James, what exactly is your title with the Warriors these days?
I am a broadcast producer and a food enthusiast. So, you know,
and a wrestling aficionado as well.
That's
but,
right.
You know.
I do dabble in the pro wrestling space as well. But yeah, Bonte really did big time me. But thankfully, man of the people,
come on, dog.
Joe Shasky.
Come on, dog. How many of these Lumpias have you eaten over the years?
Oh, quite a bit. And I'm so thrilled to hear, you know, that it stacks up so well, and that you appreciate the true craftsmanship that they put into it.
This is the thing, James, and I've said this for a long time. Lumpia and the whole category of Filipino food is so underserved in the Bay Area in general. America does not know how unreal lumpia is as a whole.
I can't believe it.
But people in the know, like once you've had lumpia once, you're like, oh, yeah. So this is the true test of an individual. And we will see when about 40 minutes, when Dibbs and Willard come walking in, if they can resist the temptation to go in for lumpia, that means to me they've never had one. Because no one I know can resist the lumpia.
I want it right now. I actually want the tray closer to the mic, and because I want more lumpias right now. Hawaiian Breakfast on Twitch says that the over-under for lumpias eaten by Shasky and Bonte before the end of the show was 40.
Oh, I think
we crushed 40 at the break.
And,
during the break, we crushed 40.
I had at least 4 of each kind, and let me just tell you right now, I've tried both of the sauces. The sweet chili sauce, it's delicious, and the yaioli. I almost told Langford to add 2 minutes of commercials. Add a promo, add a commercial. We'll get the Bob Myers in about 5 minutes here on the Morning Roast with President of Basketball Operations, GM of the Warriors. But Jimbo, explain the syrup shops. Explain what we're dealing with here.
Well, what I was going to say is, what other arena can you come and get lumpia, and lumpia of that quality, syrup shop? It's in the United Club at Chase Center, which, by the way, is where me and Tim Roy hang out. So come get your lumpia.
Oh, nice.
Come say hi to me and Tim. Love to see you.
What a flex. You just cut out R.C. Davis.
Wow.
Damn.
I'm glad
everybody's flexing here.
I'm glad you brought this up because one of the things that I noticed, so I went to AT&T Park, Oracle now, and I was talking with some Dodger fans, and they're like, we've been to all the stadiums in the entire country, and they're like, the food at different ballparks, and Oracle's got great food. I said, wait till you go to Chase Center, because I took my dad to Chase Center once it reopened, and my dad was like, I'm blown away at the food selection over here. They've got a little bit of everything, and I didn't even make my way to the syrup shop in the United. Was it the United section? What do they call it?
The United Club.
United Club. There we go. So I've been to Golden One. Bonte and I went, and they had the standardized stuff. They don't got this.
And people on Twitch and YouTube are saying, they've also got the Halo milk tea. It hits from the syrup shop. Well, guess what, folks?
That's what I'm sitting on. I'm about to hit this up right now. Let me.
Dude, look at that right there. Explain this drink right here, Jimbo. Inspired by cereal milk. It's the flagship dairy-free drink infused with their favorite nostalgic flavors from popular Filipino dessert, Halo.
Yeah.
Man, this looks legit.
It's like
taste?
purple. No, it tastes unreal.
It's not the purple. Like, it's not the lean,
right?
right?
It's the lean. But I'm telling you right now, your boy might pull a Jamarcus Russell and drink the whole thing because this is delicious.
Jimbo, thank you so much.
Hey, I gotta shout out Anish Patel. He was listening.
Yes,
he was listening.
Anish, you're the man.
Heard you talking lumpia, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, do you think your guys at 95.7? We got the syrup shop. Do you think would they want us to send them lumpia?" And I said, Anish, I worked in sports radio for years. Free food is the lifeblood of the industry. Let's do it. Let's go.
And especially with us, we talk food every single day. You see our cheeks here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to get rid of the triple chin, Jimbo.
So we have a new social media kind of thing that we're going to do. It's going to be called Burritos with Bonte and Butcher.
Yeah.
So if they've got burritos at Chase Center, that will be on our checklist of places that we need to go to at some point.
Anish Patel. Good? Yeah, that sounds great. Anish Patel.
Thank you,
Shout out
Anish.
to him. Jimbo looking dapper.
Hey.
Delivering
Which
the
one's
trays
your favorite? Impossible or you like the pork?
I don't know.
The Impossible's so good.
They're all good. And the
so
sauces.
Good.
You can eat these lumpias without the sauce.
Yes.
You could dip them in the sauce. I mean, when you have good lumpia when you don't need the sweet chili sauce. You don't need the sauce. I mean, it is unbelievable. I want to eat right now. Like, maybe you'll ask a question to Bob, I'll eat a lumpia.
Yes.
I ask a question to Bob, you eat a lumpia, and vice versa.
I'm totally down with that. James Kincaid, in closing, thank you so much on behalf of me, Bonte, those heathens in the back that are going to be scavenging all the rest of the lumpia. Thank you, honestly.
Hollow.
It's our pleasure to keep you guys well-fed and happy. So
this is incredible.
The hollow drink. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Jimbo, I love you. I love you like a brother.
Text me back next time, Bonte.
I mean, I'm sorry, man. I got a 10-month-old now. Things have changed since we worked together in the radio business. Things have changed.
How long are you going to throw your daughter under the bus?
I mean, every day of her life.
Another 18 years?
I mean, this is how it works.
I mean,
It's
really.
going to throw her under the bus every single day.
James, how would you describe the sweatsuit Bonte has on today?
I think what's the meme of that guy stepping in and just staring down the camera? That like angry Russian dude. That's That's the look
when he walks into the camera.
That's the look that Bonte's rocking.
All right.
All right, there
Warriors,
we go. That's the
Clippers.
noise.
Jimbo,
James
love you.
got to roll because we got Bob Myers, the main man, on the phone right now.
Yeah, Bob Myers coming up in radio. James Kincaid, Tim Roy, Garcia Davis. You guys do a hell of a job bringing Warriors basketball to the airways, man. You guys do a kick-ass job, James. I'll see you a little bit later at Chase Center.
Tell Tim I said hi.
Yeah. And R.C. Davis. Let's not forget about R.C. Davis.
Let's get to Bob Myers.
Let's get to Bob Myers, president of basketball operations and GM of the Golden State Warriors. And Bob, we got to just ask Bob, right? Who cares about the win against the Lakers? Who cares about Jordan Poole? Who cares about Bielitsa, Andre Iguodala? Who cares about the Clippers tonight? It's all about these Lumpias from the Syrup shop. The Syrup shop. We just got these delivered, Bob.
My God.
And we've crushed 40 of them in 5 minutes. What do you know about the Syrup shop?
How great! Look, I'm going to tell you a couple of things. One, how great of a name is that for a food?
So good.
How great of a name is that?
So amazing.
How do you spell it?
SARAP.
Yeah.
And it means delicious.
It means delicious. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something else. I've never had one of those. I'm not happy about it. I'm
what?
Honest with you guys.
Have you ever had lumpia, Bob?
No.
Oh,
what?
Bob.
I could lie. I could have lied.
You should have lied, Bob. We got to get you.
Should have lied.
Bob, my wife is somewhere right now on a plane to a bachelorette party, and she's probably furious with you right now.
Yeah, I don't blame her. You guys,
Look.
I like guys like you because I'm the not. When we're at dinner, I bet you guys are the ones that order. Let me try that. I'm not that guy. I'm not happy about it.
Are you a buttered noodles guy?
No, I'm the guy that ate peanut butter and jelly for like 18 years straight for lunch.
I'm not mad at that.
But it's not great. I'm not that exciting.
Well,
guys, I like people like you more.
Well, Shasky's wife, the Filipino community here in the Bay Area, we know they're diehard Warrior fans. When you're sitting in your seat tonight at Chase Center, I guarantee you somebody's going to walk up to you and be like, Bob, try the pork lumpia. Try the impossible lumpia. They're gonna hit you with it.
I'll do it tonight before the game.
Before the game.
I'll get some. Yeah, I'll have some before the game.
Or why not during the game? Hey, this team is fun.
During the game.
You can eat during the game because this team is fun, Bob. We saw it the other night against the LA Lakers. 30 assists. The bench outscoring the Lakers bench 55-29. You get to the free throw line. The points in the paint. Warrior fans and guys like Joe and I are feeling good about this team right now, and we see what you and Steve Kerr were talking about in the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, Bonte, when we watched it, we get to see it up close and personal, pickup games and watch them work out. And then you see everybody saw the preseason, but most people don't. I don't blame them. They don't watch the preseason. But we don't even know really how it's going to translate when the game starts. And our first half was rough. I mean, Steve walked by me in the tunnel at Staples Center and goes, I don't even recognize this team. And, that's where you got to get through that first game. Nothing can mimic an NBA game, the pace, the speed, and same for the playoffs. But going from the regular season to the playoffs, you get that bump in intensity and everything. Same as the preseason to the regular season. So I think we were just a little bit rushing things. And then the second half, I mean, that's what we hope to be. Some guys I think had one of their better games and some guys didn't. So that's encouraging. Not everybody played their best, but they like each other. You guys can see that probably through the TV that they know they got a feel for what each other is doing, and that helps in a team sport. And so we'll see. Tonight will be another. We learn as we go too. That was a good first start though. It was fun to watch.
It was so much fun to watch. I mean, LeBron, Russ, Lakers, Warriors coming back. Obviously, Steph Curry, triple-double, but it was like a ho-hum Steph Curry game because he's outstanding and yet still finds a way to drop 20, 10, and 10. But I want to get into Jordan Poole. I mean, you guys have been really trying to develop these young guys on this roster. There's been so much speculation about the young people thus far. Take me into the Jordan Poole development because there were some low lows for him individually and for you guys. Like, a night like he has the other night, it just doesn't happen out of the blue. So take me through the process of getting to opening night if you're Jordan Poole in the organization.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan's a good lesson, and this isn't, I hope I say this right, it's just a good lesson for patience, for athletes, for us, in organizations, for fans. I know it's hard. We're in this kind of instant gratification, we want a song, we download it right away. You want a movie, I'll stream it. Everything's so fast, right? I mean, it's life now. So you want immediate results when you draft a player. So do they, by the way, so do we. And if it doesn't happen, we're very quick to kind of say this guy's, he's not right or he's not good enough. So we got to see what's not fair to the fans, and we get to see somebody every day. We get to see the growth. You only get to probably see the games, which is, that's what you grade guys on. And he wasn't, obviously it was rough for him, but we get to see the work. And if you're talented, and he is talented, and you put the work in any profession, it usually will pay off, whether it pays off when you're 20, 21, 25. I mean, you guys, in your industry, I mean, it doesn't, some people, maybe they're great at 20 years old, maybe 21, maybe it doesn't happen until they're 23 or 4 or 5. But we're in a public profession, I guess, like you guys, and you can't hide the deficiencies. And so, credit to Jordan. The hardest thing in this thing, and now I think, is for athletes to keep their confidence in the social media. And they're people, they hear this stuff. I asked them. I was sitting at his dinner we had in the preseason with Draymond, and Jordan was sitting there, and I think Chioza and one other guy was at the table. And I said, "How do you guys deal with social media?" I said, "Honestly, how do you do it?" And Jordan said, "I just kind of laugh at it." I said, "But doesn't it bother you a little bit?" And he goes, "Well, you kind of either have to decide if you're going to be on it." And I go, and Draymond goes, "I can't do it. I don't do it." And look, as much as people love Draymond, he gets criticized a lot too, and he has. For all he's done, people criticize him, a lot, which is fine. But I said, as a human being, I said, if this waiter came over to me right now and said, "What the hell did you do? Well, why'd you trade for this guy?" I would, for a second, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, "Who's this guy? What's he talking about?" I would feel that comment, right? Even though he's just a waiter serving me food. So that's a little bit, to me, like social media sometimes. For me, it's tough. And so for these guys to grow up now and get graded so much so soon and to keep their confidence, I think that's what Jordan has done a good job of it. Even Steph, I mean, it's not like it was all smooth sailing for Curry the whole way through. You guys know, I mean, for a guy of his stature, now he probably gets, finally, he gets the praise. But for many years, even when he was winning, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. So for young players to kind of overcome that's a good testament to Jordan and kind of who he is, and we're getting to see it. It's fun to watch. He's a talented player.
No doubt about that. 18 points the other night against the L.A. Lakers. Had a big third quarter there down at Staples Center. Bob Myers we're talking to here in the morning, Russ, on 95.7 The Game, the president of basketball operations and GM of the Golden State Warriors. You bring up Jordan Poole. He had the ankle injury towards the tail end of that game. Didn't play, it looks like, the last 6 minutes of it. How's his ankle doing? What's his timeline? Will we see him tonight in the home opener?
Yeah, he's fine. He just, I guess he iced it after the game, but he worked out yesterday, so he's good. He's good to go. Yeah, so no issue there. So
what about James Wiseman? A lot of fans are asking about James Wiseman. They can't wait for the youngster who's been through a lot in just his first season. You talk about social media. Boy, I'm glad James Wiseman told Joe and I at Media Day, I don't do the Twitter thing. I'm like, good. That's good. That's good for the mentals, man. James Wiseman, what's his timeline? Is he running full speed yet? How's he looking?
He was running yesterday, kind of sprinting up and back the length of our 3 courts in the facility. And it's nice, he's doing a lot. I mean, he's doing a lot. He hasn't scrimmaged yet. He hasn't gone one-on-one. I think that's the next couple weeks or next 2-3 weeks he'll start doing that. And then once he's fully cleared, it's for you guys and for I think for the listeners, there's a difference between being cleared, right, and saying you're good to go, and then throwing a guy in an NBA game. And that's a lag time because, for us, we feel good. I'm going to go play basketball today. Right. That's not what this is, right? It's not how it works. And so for these guys, even when you're feeling great, no issues. Again, Clay will be at that point sometime in the next 3 weeks where they'll say 2, 3, whatever it is, you're going to go play basketball. But that doesn't mean you're ready to get in an NBA game. And because once we let them play in an NBA game, maybe they have minute restrictions early, but then they're off and running. Like, that's it. You don't do it and then pull them back. So James is doing well. I think he's close to kind of being without limitations as far as everything 1-on-0 he'll be able to do. And then that'll progress into 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 5-on-5. And then, when he's ready, he'll play. But he's still got some time, and Clay's in the same place. We'll have an update on Wiseman, I think we're doing that November 1st. We'll know a little bit more. And then Clay, I don't know that it makes sense to update anything beyond, you'll know. I mean, once he starts playing, that means he's closer. He's not playing 5-on-5 yet. But it's coming in the near future.
I mean, just Bob Myers with us right now, Golden State Warrior
President of basketball
operations
Yep.
right now. Just the man, the absolute man. Last year, you guys did everything you could to pivot after the Clay injury, and you're coming off a rough year, and you're trying to piece together a roster. It's just really hard. I don't think people understand how hard it is to field a competitive team year after year after year with the financial constraints that are going around. A year later, you guys bring back Iguodala, and boy, it was great to see him again. And then you sign this guy, Bielitsa. And Bob, you said to us, Pandora's Box, Bonte, your music tastes aren't that good. I did a little song, a little remix.
I heard that, Chasky. I heard it.
We're going to play it right now. Tell me what you think.
Did you hear it?
Let's play it real quick. Real quick.
I heard it.
Here it is. Bielitsa! All right.
Hey, Bob, let me just say, after that Lakers game and the Warriors win and Bielitsa drops 15 and 11, Shasky and I got tagged in so many B&B as the folks at NBC said, what's this B&B thing? I said, you don't even want to know.
I love this guy,
You don't even want to know.
Yes.
Bob, when you heard this from Shasky, what did you think, Bob?
I mean, first of all, I think Red Bull, like some kind of extracurricular drug, you get to do something like that. I mean, but then I think, you got to respect the passion. For a guy to kind of get that into it, you got to respect that. The actual, if I'm grading on the musical talent, that's not, that's not great.
Not a passing grade?
I got to be honest. But you know what? Some people get by. Like for us, we say he has a high motor. Like his skill is his energy. That's what Shasky. Not that you don't have other skills. Right? That is the skill.
Oh gosh.
Hey Bob, the guy Bielitsa though, just for a second, because I'm glad that you heard it. That makes me feel really good. But he's just got a great feel. I mean, he really does.
Yeah.
No one's saying that he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but like for this team, he gives a lot of what they need. He moves the ball. He's got some size. He's gonna bang a little. He's not the greatest defender, but he gives you a little bit of length. His passing, and then his understanding of, all right, they're going to give me the three-pointer. I'll take it here. If they close out on me, I'll take a hard dribble and kick it out to Wiggins or kick it out to Damian Lee. What a great acquisition this guy is. And I know it's one game, but you got to feel good about him.
Yeah, we like, it's like you said, things being difficult to field teams for us in any team, in any sport, right? Competitive. But we tried to trade for him a few times last year and just couldn't find the right deal for them and us. And then he got moved to Miami and never really got a foothold there. But we've always liked him because we thought he could fit what we do, which is what you guys see. It's a lot of read and react stuff, a lot of randomness. The day after we signed him, I was in L.A., and he came to breakfast. It was myself, I think Mike Dunleavy, Larry Harris, and somebody else, and we were at breakfast. And he came over, and he sat down, and he looked at us. He's like, this is where I want to be. It was almost like sometimes players, like when Iguodala chose to come to us when he was a free agent and turned down more money, and he had just left the team, and Denver was a good team, and he knew that he wanted to play with Steph and Clay and play with our system, and it's almost like players that are smart, they also see it, and sometimes we see it, sometimes they see it. But when Bielitsa sat down, he's like, "This is I want to play basketball. I want to play this way." And again, one game, fine. But maybe he'll have 20 games like that. Maybe he'll have 10. Maybe I don't know how many he'll have. Hope he has a lot. But he's capable. And we haven't had a big... Draymond does have the passing and obviously has the defense. But Bielitsa has the offense. Mm-hmm. And if you watch him shoot and Porter shoot, those two guys, they're not just... There's guys that shoot threes and they're shooters. Those two guys are, in a three-point shooting contest in our facility. If you grab Steph, Clay, Porter, Bielitsa, and that's not to knock Poole or Damian Lee or anybody else, but to me it's those four. I don't know who's going to win that. I mean, they're that good of shooters.
Wow.
Now, Can they shoot it off the dribble like Steph and Clay and the quick release? That's a different skill. But just straight shooting. If you guys came and watched the practice and watched those two guys, it's real. And it's not just, it's beyond the three-point line. And the fact that they're both huge, they're,
right.
Porter 6'9", Bielitsa 6'10", they can get the shot up. So it's fun to watch, and I'm excited to see if he can keep doing it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. March 10th, 2020 was the last time Chase Center was at full capacity. When the Clippers were in town, and thank you, Uncle Bob, for hooking up those tickets there for that game. That was the last time we had full capacity at Chase Center. We're going to get that tonight for the home opener. What does it mean for you? I know you got to get out of here, but in 30 seconds or less, what does it mean to see the Dub Nation out there in full effect?
First of all, I can hang with you guys till 9. So if you got to go, you can.
Oh, no. You can hang out as long as you want. I just figured you want to get off the phone after hearing that remix.
No. Well, that's tough. Enough of that. You know what it is? You guys go to a lot of sporting events. This isn't me sucking up to the listener. The fans are so important in any sport. And when I sat there last year in an empty arena, I don't know if you guys caught any games, it's like having a party with no one there. Right? You turn the music on, you got food out, nobody comes. Yeah, we play the games, and I credit the coaches and the players and being professional, and people got to have maybe an escape by watching the games on TV. But when you're there, the fans add an unbelievable, especially our fans. Our fans, and I go to games all over the country. I've been in every NBA arena and seen all their fans. There's some good fans, but our fans, the fact that you guys, being Bay Area City guys, our fans stuck with the team. Mm-hmm. And I was a kid growing up in the Bay Area. I mean, even when the team wasn't great, we've always had great fans, always, and always had that hope and passion, like real basketball fans, not like coming and going. Hey, the team's not good, we're not going to go, or the real fans, and they really care about the sport. I think the basketball component of our city is underrated. Like, I don't think this city and the Bay Area gets enough credit. You talk about other cities. I mean, it's a real basketball. It's always been that way. And so to have the fans back in the building, it is such a big deal in so many ways. It's the energy when you walk into a game, especially basketball, because it's inside, and you can get it at baseball and football too. But the energy in a building when you walk out, because I walk out kind of right before the game starts, and they're doing the announcements, and you just immediately, because I walk from my office, which is quiet, a different atmosphere, coming from the locker room. It's almost like, maybe a bad example, but like what a musician feels like, this must be what the players feel like when you're walking up on stage. Like, that's what it feels like to walk into that arena. And I'm excited, guys. I am so excited about the fans, especially our fans. So I don't know if any of you guys are going, but it's going to be fun.
I got volleyball. Otherwise, I'd be there. I can't make it down in time. I'm going to be in the building at some point.
I think we'll be out there. Hopefully, it doesn't rain too hard. We'll be out there. Mully and Darrell Wright and I, they'll drag me out there.
Yeah, you get it. But it's supposed to stop raining, I think.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Joe, let me know when you want to go.
Oh, dude.
I'll take care of you.
You're the best.
Don't say that, Bob.
No,
I'm kidding.
Hey, Bob, some of my buddies have been seeing you around town, and you're very nonchalant. I told them when they see you, just walk up and go, Bia, and just have Bob high-five
Do you even know who Little John and the East Side Boys are, Bob?
I know, but not like you guys. It's not like you guys. I failed.
The fact that you heard that, you probably turned the radio off so fast, like, oh, Lord. But wait till you hear it at Chase Center. Wait till you hear that at Chase Center, Bob. It's going to be a lot of fun. So good to hear your voice. So good to have the Warriors back in our lives. Clippers tonight, 7 p.m. tip. Bob, we'll see you at Chase.
And Lumpia.
Lumpia. Don't forget about the Lumpia. It's a wrap shop.
I'm not. I won't. And the sauce.
And the sauce. Yes, you know about the sauce. All right, Bob.
Sauce.
Bob Myers, President of Basketball Operations and GM of the Dakota State Warriors. Don't forget, fans ages 18 and older who are fully vaccinated are encouraged to download the free Clear app and utilize the Health Pass feature where they can securely add their proof of vaccination in multiple ways, including scanning their smart QR code from the California registry, linking directly to a vaccine provider in Clear's nationwide network, or by uploading their CDC-issued vaccine card. Tickets still available at Warriors.com. Don't go to anywhere else. Go to Warriors.com and get your tickets.
Willard and Dibs coming up any second now. I did not know that they tried to swing deals for Bielitsa last year. That was an interesting nuggy-nug. See, when you're buddies with Bob and he starts opening up, to know that Bielitsa was a guy that they tried to trade for not once, but multiple times last year, that was new information to me.
Hey, and you know what? Thanks to the Roasters on YouTube and Twitch, they brought it today. There's a lot of people watching us eat Lumpias today.
How many Lumpias do you think are left in that break room?
It better be some left.
Dude, you look like you're about to bite someone's finger off.
I am. Somebody better have Olympias left. All right, that's it for us.
Yep.
Willard and Dibs coming in. Look at Willard. Of course, new guy. We give the new guy a pass for freeloading. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
I had a game set up for them today, too, to be honest with you. We were going to do Pandora's Box the reverse way. So, anyway, Dibs and Willard coming up now.
This is Antioch's favorite sports station. KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. 95.7 The Game on Odyssey Station. They're longtime friends.
Let me tell you something real quick about Dibs that I'm sure not everybody knows.
And first-time partners.
Hang in there, big guy. There'll be brighter days ahead.
Now, these two homegrown Bay Area boys finally come together to take over sports talk.
Get the hell off of my doorstep.
Major League Baseball, you stink.
It's Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game.
Pop quiz, Dibber.
Already? Am I late?
What did I? No, I was. Pet peeve number one in my life. Number one pet peeve.
In your life?
In all of the world. Actually, no. So I'm changing.
Okay.
This was not the pop quiz. The reason I'm going now to number one pet peeve in all of life as to why I just walked into this building 3 minutes ago.
We're talking about traffic.
Brother, it's not just traffic. I don't mind traffic. We live in a big city.
Yep.
Okay? Doing what you and I do, there better be traffic on the way to work or you're going to make $22 a year.
You're fired.
Okay? I don't want to do this in Sheboygan. Let's do this in San Francisco, okay? I'm fine with traffic. If you're going to do road work, or if you have a delivery and your truck is the size of a cul-de-sac and you need to block an entire city of people to do what you're going to do, don't do it at 8:45 in the morning on a Thursday when it's pouring. Now's not the time.
Nope.
Please, Caltrans, do your road work at 11 o'clock at night. I'm sorry. I know your workers are union. Please, can we come to an agreement? Give them a couple extra bucks. You work overnight now instead of working at 8 in the morning. Please.
And remember, everyone, slow for the cone zone. As we all know, respect the workers. They're somebody's parent, and they're doing the work that we all want done.
They're doing what we need done.
It's a tough confluence of events.
Get them a flashlight and do it at 11 at night, okay?
Yeah, that's going to cost you, the taxpayer, at least 1.5 times.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Okay? Higher taxes, more getting to work on time.
I love it.
Okay?
It's tough out there, especially in this city of ours. And you grew up here and you lived in an even softer place in Southern California where
Main Street's a foster city.
Yes,
and,
but you know that the first rain is worse than all other rains, but anytime it rains here, it's time to panic.
It's off. Yeah.
It's time to panic. What is this wet stuff falling from the sky?
Seriously. The looks on the kids' faces right now in the morning is the funniest thing to me. I mean, they're just like, so wait, you're telling me that I don't have soccer practice later today? We can't. I'm sorry. No, everything's off. Everything's canceled.
Indoor events, too. It's all done.
We can't get there. Talking to friends who are dropping people off at high school, took them an hour and a half round trip. They live down the street. Like, everything's canceled. It's off. Except for the Warrior game.
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go.
Except for the Warrior game coming up later on tonight. I was actually, speaking of coming back from soft Southern California,